Welcome everybody to Tim Reynolds Show's live play-by-play for the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series race at Martinsville Speedway, the oldest racetrack on the circuit for Martinsville, or for the NASCAR Cup Series. And we see the pole sitter is Christopher Bell, driver of the number 20 Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing, and that Camry's been fast, especially in qualifying, as he qualifies on the pole, the front row, in position number 1 in that number 20 Toyota Camry. And Christopher Bell already has 3 wins this season, so he's going to look to add to that win total here at Martinsville Speedway as we go short track racing, as we see Chase Elliott, driver of the number 9 Chevrolet, qualifies in second on the front row next to Christopher Bell. His teammates, Alex Bowman, driver of the number 48 Chevy, and the number 5 Chevrolet driver Kyle Larson qualify on row number 2. Last week's winner, Kyle Larson, is a serious contender for this race here at Martinsville Speedway. Thank you everybody for hanging out here on Tim Reynolds Show. Please make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And thank you, racing fans. And yeah, man, we see Hendrick has dominated here with 29 wins at Martinsville, the most of any organization, any racing organization here in NASCAR. And they've also led the most laps at any track in history here. And they've led the most laps here at Martinsville Speedway. So look out for these Hendrick Motorsports drivers. And there's Jeff Gordon on top of the pit box there, it looks like, for the number 9 Chevrolet. And we see in row number 3, we got Chris Buescher, driver of the number 17 Ford, and Denny Hamlin, driver of the number 11 Toyota, qualify on row number 3. And in row number 4, we have Bubba Wallace in the number 23 Toyota Camry, and Joey Logano, driver of the number 22 Ford Mustang. All right, we see Bubba Wallace starting 8th. His best finish at Martinsville is 4th in 2023. And we see in row number 6, Chase Briscoe, driver of the number 19 Toyota, and Kyle Busch, driver of the number 8 Chevrolet, qualify on row number 6.
Mike, these drivers are going to be so busy at this half-mile short track today. Lap times just north of 20 seconds. They'll be working the throttle, working the steering. They'll be working heavy braking, getting in the...
And we will see these drivers really working their cars to the bone, to the brim, if you will. We'll be seeing a lot of turning, a lot of braking.
You'll see the ECU on top of the dash, electronic control unit. They preset a rev limiter there to 8,800 RPMs. Now, you've heard us talk about the 5-speed sequential shift.
Now we're seeing and looking at the electrical control unit that's usually set to over 8,800 RPMs. But with how much they're shifting here through gears, we could see a lot of throttle.
When your RPM gets to 8,800, it unloads the engine. Just for a second, the driver shifts to 4th without lifting the throttle. Now, getting a normal downshift, getting in the corner.
So we have to really pay attention to how well these drivers are able to shift through the gears here at this short track here at Martinsville Speedway. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens.
Basically what it's doing, right? You have to have load on those gears, and that load is what keeps it in gear. And as soon as it hits that rev limiter or you burp the gas, like Larry was just talking about, it takes the load off the gear, enabling it to shift. So when it hits that rev limiter, they're using that no-lift shift, if you will, to take the load off the gear and put it in the next one. Yeah,
and these drivers look ready to go, just like we are here on Tim Reynolds Show. Yeah!
Tires wear out and that wheel spin goes up. You do not want to get that thing hung on the rev limiter because the car will die and just stop. It'll take a second for it to get back going. So some are using no-lift shift and some aren't.
So the weather at the start of the week for Sunday was horrible, but every day the forecast has improved. And now we're close to 80 degrees. The clouds are rolling in, and there may be thunderstorms tonight, but that's after this race finishes.
Well, so we might not see the wet weather tires, but these clouds will play a big role in this.
So we do see some cloud cover here on this racetrack here. That will be a 40-lap race, 210 miles, 80 laps on stage number 1, 100 laps on stage number 2, and the final stage will be 220 laps to the finish here. Pit road speed is 30 miles an hour. The fuel window here at Martinsville is 150 to 160 laps. And the race strategy here at Martinsville Speedway will be to stay off the curbing in the turns. Late stage, pit and flip the stage as well as you can. And stage 3, try to split it in half when it comes to your pit strategy. And we'll see how well pit strategy comes into play here at Martinsville Speedway.
Thanks, Larry. We were allowed to sit in on Alex Bowman's team meeting this morning.
All right, we roll through here.
Yeah, baby! We gonna go racing!
So that'd be pretty straightforward. Can't expect things to go right all the time, especially in a place like Martinsville. So if it doesn't, the execution of what it'll be.
Woo! We got Amber Reynolds in the chat. Let's go! Yeah! Totally, dude. Party like a rock star. Oh yeah, man. Look at that. We got Burt Myers, age 49, making his first ever Cup Series start. Congratulations to him from Walnut, North Carolina. And the number 50 car. Interesting to see what happens with him. All right, guys, the lights are off on the pit car. That means we're fixing to go racing, boys.
Really good here, and I can't wait to see this all unfold today.
And here we go, racing fans. Boogity, boogity, boogity! Let's go racing, boys! At Martinsville Speedway! And here they go down the front stretch as Christopher Bell pulls away as we head into turn number 1 and exit turn number 2. As we see Chase Elliott holds right behind him in position 2. Alex Bowman right behind him in position number 3 as Denny Hamlin makes a move on the inside. They're single file all the way through this first lap of the race. Nice clean racing here early on in Martinsville as we see up front still Christopher Bell holds that lead with Chase Elliott now actually fading behind as we see Denny Hamlin on the inside of the number 5 of Kyle Larson. He's looking to take away that spot and get inside the top 4, and he will get past the number 5 Chevrolet. And now Kyle Larson drops back to the 5th place position. He's under fire by Chris Buescher, driver of the number 17 Ford Mustang. And he's got to make sure he keeps the pressure on because on this racetrack, you have got to make passes when you're able to make passes. As you see Bubba Wallace riding along with him in the number 23 Toyota Camry. He's using that outside line instead of the inside line. Oh, some contact there between him and Joey Logano. Logano, driver of the number 22 Ford Mustang, got into the left door panel of the 23, and we know Bubba Wallace is not going to like that. And Bubba goes right in behind the 22, drops to get to that bottom line. A lot of drivers single file. Oh, some contact there between Tyler Reddick and William Byron as we see the number 45 Camry gets into the door panel of the number 24 Chevrolet. William Byron's not going to like that as Reddick tries to stay aggressive on the inside of the 24 around the corner. He's sliding the rear wheels, but he's not able to get in front of William Byron. Oh, a little bump there, and another bump as we see the domino effect as Chase Briscoe also gets into the back rear bumper of the number 45. And now Kyle Busch here looks like he's struggling a little bit to get back up towards the front as he battles with with Josh Berry and the number 71 Chevrolet of Michael McDowell. And this is always a traffic game here at Martinsville, as we see Busch able to get ahead of the 71 and now is in 14th place position. But he's on that outside line, and he's definitely going to have to find a spot to fit in on that bottom part of the racetrack where everybody else is using. But we're already seeing a lot of drivers really use up the tires here, and we'll see how much that plays effect later on in this race. And Kyle Busch finally gets on the bottom part of the racetrack right near the curb. And then we see Christopher Bell here at age 30 has 12 career wins in his 6th year in the Cup Series, as he's holding on to this lead since the start. We're 10 laps into this 400-lap race. Chase Elliott trying to close the gap between first and second. And we also see teammates, as we see Ty Gibbs and Chase Briscoe battling it out. Ty Gibbs, age 22, his best finish is second in 2024 at Darlington Speedway. He'll look to get a good finish here at Martinsville, but he'll have to contend with Chase Briscoe and Josh Berry, who are right on his tail. And Josh Berry, the winner of Las Vegas Spring Race earlier this year, his first career win here in the 2nd year in the Cup Series. He'll look to keep that 21 Ford Mustang up inside the top 20. In the 13th place position, he battles with Chase Briscoe for the position number 12. And then we see Ryan Blaney, driver of the number 12 Ford Mustang, the 2023 Cup Series champion, having to come from the back to the front after he qualified outside the top 30. Shane Van Gisbergen, driver of the number 88 Chevrolet, the 2023 Chicago Street Race winner from New Zealand, battling it out in the back of the pack as well, trying to make his way towards the front. Now we see a lot of these drivers single file as they're starting to split up here, but Christopher Bell is very close to making it to lap traffic, and that's going to play a big part here as we head 15 laps down here in this 400-lap race at Martinsville Speedway. And we already see the rubber on the racetrack starting to build up here for these drivers, as we see Alex Bowman under fire from Denny Hamlin, who's rolling his number 11 Toyota Camry really well through the corners. He's finding a lot of grip down on that bottom lane right near the curb. In that red and white curb, you're already seeing starting to build up some rubber as well, as drivers try to get right on the bottom of that racetrack to carry as much speed as they can into the corner, as we ride along with Bubba Wallace, who has 2 career wins in the NASCAR Cup Series, his 8th year in the Cup. He'll try, to get that 23 Toyota up towards the front. Right now with a good run in 8th place here, right behind Joey Logano. And we see in Martinsville last year, he finished 4th in the spring race, but 18th in the fall race here at Martinsville. So hopefully we'll see better luck for Bubba Wallace here early on in the season. Thank you everybody for hanging out here on TimReynoldsShow. Please don't forget, guys, to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. As we see Christopher Bell still holds on to the lead. He's led all 19 laps here early on in this race. That number 20 Toyota Camry for Joe Gibbs Racing looks very, very fast. After he qualified on the pole here, he's been able to hold on to the lead. We see Denny Hamlin battling with Alex Bowman. That number 48 Chevrolet has been fast, but he's taking a different entry to the corner where it looks like Denny Hamlin's almost able to overdrive the corner a little bit and still find grip to get right up behind that number 48 Chevrolet. And the rubber starting to build. Drivers already having to hit the brakes and slide the tires. We could be seeing pit stops make a big part of this race and a big reason why who wins the race near the end. Thank you everybody for hanging out here on Tim Reynolds Show. We're here on our first commercial break of the day. Thank you guys. Appreciate y'all. Da, 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 da. Yeah, we NASCAR Cup Series racing. At Martinsville. Speedway, yeah. Appreciate everybody hanging out here on Tim Reynolds Show. Please don't forget, guys, to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to help support my YouTube channel where I bring you guys more NASCAR content, WWE content, and football content right here on Tim Reynolds Show. Let's go. All right, guys, so first part of this race has been dominated by Christopher Bell, and that number 20 Toyota Camry is fast for Joe Gibbs Racing, and he'll have to see how traffic plays a big part in here and how he's able to contend with those guys right behind him, as we see Alex Bowman battling it out in the number 48 Chevrolet with a lot of other drivers, a lot of other Chevrolets up near the front here early on. Denny Hamlin, the teammate of Christopher Bell, is also battling near the front as well here in this racetrack. See if we can get the race tracker going. And we're back in here in this race, and we're seeing Chase Elliott battling to get the front and the lead away from Christopher Bell as the driver of the number 9 Chevrolet sees a round of applause, and the crowd gets up to their feet as they are excited to see their driver, Chase Elliott. So now we'll see what Chase Elliott's able to do here with the lead in that number 9 Chevrolet as he continues to pull away from Christopher Bell after getting past the lead. And he's had 7 straight top 10 finishes on short tracks here in the NASCAR Cup Series. Way to go, Chase Elliott! That's my dog right there, man! Come on! And we're already seeing some concern being reported from Christopher Bell and his pit crew as they were concerned about this number 20 Toyota on the long run as they continue to battle in second place with Alex Bowman, driver of the number 48 Chevrolet, close behind him. And we do have our first caution out with 48 laps to go. And nobody was expecting that caution, as we'll have to see what happens here.
Reigning MVP Shohei Ohtani leads the defending champion Dodgers in a must-watch early season showdown. They'll play Bryce Harper and the Phils Saturday at 4 Eastern on FS1.
Heard a lot of these guys practicing pit road before the race. Radio chatter was that
So now we'll see, with 48 laps to go, how these first set of pit stops will play a big part here in this race at Martinsville Speedway, as we finally got the tracker going for you guys. Cool.
Chase Elliott in the 9 car. Good break with this caution early on. Having a little bit of radio trouble. Trouble hearing Chase. As for the race car, he said it's good. It's still neutral right now. No issues in the 48 of Alex Bowman. Very bad in
All right, there we go. A nice clean stop there from Chase Elliott. Alex Bowman in the pits as well. This is a unique pit area here at Martinsville because we have pit stops on both sides of the racetrack. As we see 9 nice clean stops from just about everybody. And Christopher Bell is able to come off the pit road there with the lead after taking only 2 tires. Joey Logano also only takes 2 tires, and he jumps up 5 spots to take away that second place spot. But now, Elliott drops 2 spots all the way down to 3rd after that pit stop there. A bad pit stop for the number 9 Hendrick Motorsports team. We'll see after how he's able to recover from that. All right, thank you everybody for hanging out here. Please make sure you guys are hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel. This is for you guys. Yeah, crack it open, baby. Let's go. Oh, yeah. Totally, dude. Party like a rock. Party like a rock star. Party like a rock. Party like a rock star. All right, guys, we're here on our first commercial break. We see we got a caution out on the track, and that brought our first set of pit stops after we seen Chase Elliott finally able to get around the number 20 Toyota of Christopher Bell, and he was able to show that he has a fast Chevrolet in that number 9 car for Hendrick Motorsports, but the caution would come out, and in those pit stops, Chase Elliott unfortunately will lose 2 spots and drop back to 3rd here after those sets of pit stops, but he was able to take 4 tires and come off 3rd when we see the drivers ahead of him. Christopher Bell, who's now in 1st, only has 2 tires that he took, and we also see Joey Logano, driver of the number 22 Ford Mustang, only took 2 tires as well, gaining 5 spots there on pit road. But because of those guys only having 2 tires, if we go on another green flag, a long green flag run here, we could see this play big dividends for guys like Chase Elliott, who took 4 tires here on this pit stop. Hell yeah. Hell right. Hell right. Everybody wanna play a country song tonight somewhere. In America, there's about to turn and fire to light. So come on, racing fans, come hang out with your man Tim Reynolds. Show you guys know what's up when we hanging out. Play it out, here we go. That's right, it's NASCAR racing on race day and night. Oh man, look at that. We got some birds' nests up in the lights. That's cool. All right, we're getting ready to go back racing here, guys. We've seen some drivers actually decided to stay out here, and because they did that, we have a whole new front row here. As you see, Josh Berry and Austin Cindric now are on the front. Cole Custard in the number 41 Ford Mustang. Brad Keselowski, Ryan Blaney also round out the top 5 before we see Herbst and number 35 Toyota, and then Christopher Bell, which starts the cars that pitted. So we got the first 6 cars did not pit this time around. And short track shifting is crazy for these next gen cars and these drivers. Talking about it here on the broadcast and how difficult it can be. It definitely makes these drivers have to really overwork the car and be a lot more patient inside the car as well. All right, so under caution here with 42 laps to go. When we go back under green, we will be at 40 or 41 laps to go. And we're fixing to go green here, guys, with 41 laps to go. Josh Berry in the number 21 Ford Mustang and Austin Cindric in his Ford Mustang lead the field. And boogity, 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 we go back racing, boys! And we see Josh Berry springs ahead here in his number 21 Mustang. Austin Cindric is now battling with the number 41 Mustang of Cole Custer. And they're going 3 wide near the back as Chase Elliott is on the inside of the 35 and Alex Bowman goes on the outside. They split. Herbst in the number 35 Toyota, and now Kyle Larson with a nice bump there with the front bumper pushes the number 35 Toyota out of the way. And we see a lot of these drivers making aggressive moves. 3 wide here as we see the Toyotas make contact. Tyler Reddick gets into the side of the number 35, who made a bad choice staying out there on 2 tires. And we're 3 wide again as they stack up on the inside line there and exit out of turn number 3. Man, out of turn number 4, I should say, and that number 35 car is in a lot of trouble as we see Chase Elliott battling behind Joey Logano in that 8th place position. And Logano into the back bumper there of Keselowski. Keselowski chose to stay out without coming into pit for new tires. So you know those guys behind him are a little bit faster. Joey Logano, and we're still 3 wide near the back. Oh, Ryan Preece into the number 35 car. That's at least the 3rd or 4th car that's gotten into the number 35. And the 35 Toyota of Herbst continues to drop backwards as we see Josh Berry leads the race here at Martinsville Speedway. That number 21 Ford Mustang is fast, and Joey Logano trying to make his way inside the top 6 and the top 5, bumping the back bumper of Brad Keselowski on that inside lane. He's side by side with Christopher Bell, and behind them they're side by side as well as we see teammates Alex Bowman and Chase Elliott, the 48 and the number 9 Chevrolets battling it out, but Joey Logano is able to pull in front of Christopher Bell, and now along the inside, oh, he budges and nudges Brad Keselowski out the way, and Keselowski's not going to like that as Joey Logano gets in front of the number 6 Ford Mustang, and oh, Alex Bowman into Brad Keselowski, and that pushes him way up the track, and Christopher Bell gets caught up in that mess. That was almost a wreck on the racetrack there. Alex Bowman just shoved the number 6 of Brad Keselowski out of the way there. What a move. Christopher Bell was lucky to evade, but he drops all the way back into the 12th place position.
You saw it with Riley Herbst, and now you're seeing it with Brad. It puts you in a position to where you have to put yourself in as much of the way as possible to keep as many behind you, but
and Keselowski struggling here with not having new tires on that car. And now Denny Hamlin working his way to the inside here of Chase Elliott to take away that 7th place spot. Denny Hamlin working his way back towards the front on those new set of tires. Ryan Blaney and Austin Cindric, Cole Custer and Josh Berry are holding their own, staying out on the racetrack here without coming in for new tires. At Martinsville, tires are so good to have when you can get them.
Not sure what happened, but he came into the pits 9th, Regan.
And we see some trouble here for William Byron, driver of the number 24 Chevrolet.
With this many cars still on the lead lap right now early in the race, really a big penalty. Lose a lot of spots, but a long race left to make it up. As you see it on the bottom right there.
And we see a struggling pit stop there, a bad pit stop for William Byron, as they almost didn't get the right front tire on the car, but luckily they were able to find the piece and get the tire back on the car. So now he's in the battle, trying to battle and make his way back towards the front as Joey Logano is now on the inside of his teammate, Ryan Blaney, and he's going to take away that top 5 spot, the 4th place position. But now Alex Bowman right underneath the number 12 as he's looking to take away that top 5 spot from Ryan Blaney. Alex Bowman has a strong car here in that number 48 Ally Chevrolet. But we'll have to see what happens here after we come back from commercial break. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out here on Tim Reynolds Show. Please make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for hanging out. Appreciate y'all, man. Shibba-ba-doo-wop, bop-ba-doo-wop, shibba-ba-doo-wop, bop-da-doo, yeah, doo-wop, bop-ba-doo-wop, shibba-ba-doo-wop, dip-ba-doo, yeah. I'm trying to see if I can get this tracker to be a little bit better for you guys, and I think I got it now. I think we're set here now. I think we can see the tracker. Can we see the tracker? We can somewhat see the tracker. Do-ba-do-wop, ba-da-do, yeah. Ooh-wop, bop-bop-boo-wop, ba-da-da-do-wop, ba-ba-da-do, yeah. I guess it's alright. It's alright. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out here on Tim Reynolds Show. Please make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Man, so a pretty good competitive race thus far. We'll see how well it goes. All right, here we go. We're back, guys, with 18 laps to go. Josh Berry still in the lead. His number 21 Ford Mustang pulling away now from the top of the pack.
1825, the Goodyear blimp has been inspiring fans to keep looking up and keep driving forward. 3 Fords at the front of the field.
So now here we go with 18 to go.
And there is Hall of Fame crew chief Leonard Wood.
And there is Hall of Fame crew chief Leonard Wood, the 2013 NASCAR Hall of Fame inductee. There at trackside watching his driver, Josh Berry, in the number 21 Ford Mustang, race it out. He's led 29 of 62 laps here, and they are reporting that Josh Berry's using a lot less brake than a lot of the other drivers are currently on the racetrack. So he's really able to get that car around the corner the way he wants to. As we see Ford racing order, we got the top 3 are Ford Mustangs with Austin Cindric in 7th right behind them. Oh, man. And Ryan Blaney got really loose out of the corner as Bubba Wallace, driver of the number 23 Toyota, makes a beautiful move to get around him. And now he's alongside Austin Cindric in the number 2 Ford Mustang. And now Bubba Wallace with an aggressive move up to the top of the track. He slid a little bit, but he's able to keep it out of the door of the number 2 Ford Mustang. Austin Cindric appreciates that. But Bubba Wallace is going to take away that spot and get inside the top 8 here in that number 23 Toyota. Nice racing there from Bubba Wallace. A fast Toyota Camry right there. And we see right behind them his teammate Tyler Reddick on the inside there of the number 2 Ford Mustang, Austin Cindric, having to battle it out against those Toyota teammates. And Tyler Reddick is going to take away that top 9 position there from the number 2. Bubba Wallace continues to pull away. That number 23 Toyota looks fast here at Martinsville Speedway. And right behind them, joining the race here in this packed, back near 10th place, we see Austin Dillon and his number 3 Chevrolet right on the inside on the back bumper of Tyler Reddick. And he now pulls alongside Austin Cindric. And oh, almost some contact there with the back bumper as we see Austin Dillon was able to get a lot of speed out of the corner. And he able to take away that top 10 spot away from Austin Cindric, who's going backwards here. And now we see Josh Berry with 11 laps to go, starting to make his way up towards lap traffic. But Joey Logano has worked his way up to the 2nd place spot. That number 22 Ford Mustang looks fast here, folks, as he's finally worked his way up back inside the top 2. And Christopher Bell still near 12th and 13th position, where he fell back after he almost got involved in a wreck earlier in the track. Oh, and we got a caution out on the racetrack as Chris Buescher spun out.
Pretty far down the straightaway to be just a spin. I'm guessing there might have been contact.
And we're guessing it might have been contact from somebody, as we'll wait to see the replay as Chris Buescher, driver of the number 17 Ford Mustang for RFK, brings out the caution here after getting spun out.
Get the free pass. He's the only car a lap down. Mears making his 490th career start in Carl Long's car. And there's the contact from Carson Hocevar.
Not clear.
And Carson Hocevar with some contact there with the number 17. And that's how Chris Buescher got turned around.
Very short run. So do you want to stay out and score stage points? I think the majority of the field, especially from on back, maybe like 10th on back, they pit here, they flip the stage.
So we're going to see here a pit strategy comes into play. As we see on the replay once again, yep, Carson Hocevar just gets into the left quarter panel of Chris Buescher. Oh, and a lot of different drivers have chose to stay out here for some stage points. And we're going to see how that plays a big part into this race. As we see Alex Bowman and Joey Logano chose to stay out. Chase Elliott, one of the first drivers to come back in for new tires and a full tank of gas. Cole Custard also in for the pit. The number 21 of Josh Berry, the leader, gives up the lead to pit here. He's going to get 4 tires and some gasoline, and he's off. Oh, almost some contact there with Cole Custard with Josh Berry at the exit of pit road. And Chase Elliott and Denny Hamlin are going to gain multiple spots on pit road here. And man, Brad Keselowski must have gotten contact from at least 3 or 4 different other drivers. He gets into the left side of the number 12, or I should say the number 20 Toyota of Christopher Bell. But somehow Christopher Bell and Brad Keselowski are able to hold on to their cars. And we are now on commercial break here for this 2025 NASCAR Cup Series race for the NASCAR Cup Series at Martinsville Speedway. Thank you guys so much for hanging out here for this Tim Reynolds Show live play-by-play for the NASCAR Cup Series. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And thank you for all the support. Hell yeah, we killing, we ballin', but ballin', ballin', ballin'. We killing it, we ballin', we killing it, ballin'. We are ballers, shot callers. All right, cheers to you, chat. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Appreciate y'all. Don't forget, guys, to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're here on commercial break. Right now, we've seen a bunch of different lead changes. Already, pitch strategy is coming into play with 2 different cautions already early on in this race. We see already some contact on the second caution as Carson Hocevar, driver of the number 77 Chevrolet, gets into the back of the number 17 Ford Mustang, as Chris Buescher, the driver there, is not going to like that. And now, because of that caution, pit strategy once again plays a big part here as we see Joey Logano takes over the lead with Alex Bowman in second place after they chose not to pit after this caution, where we will have only a few laps to go until the end of stage number 1 here at Martinsville Speedway for the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series. Oh, and we see some contact there in the pits between Bubba Wallace and Josh Berry.
And Berry never made it past turn 2. The car came to a stop, dead stick. The car shut off. He said the dash was black, and the track wrecker pushed him around to his pit where the Wood Brothers are trying to do.
And oh no, Josh Berry with a terrible, looks like, accident as we go back racing here with 2 laps to go in stage number 1. Joey Logano now with the lead. Alex Bowman right behind him. Brad Keselowski in third and AJ Allmendinger in fourth as they stood out. And oh, we see Ryan Preece under attack by the number 43 Toyota. And it's getting some bumpy racing here at the end of the stage with 1 to go. They split in between Ryan Preece, teammates number 42 and 43, those Toyotas for Legacy Motor Club. And now coming down the backstretch on this final lap in stage number 1, drivers trying to find a way to get some stage points here and get in front of these drivers. And Joey Logano will win stage number 1 here at Martinsville Speedway. Alex Bowman finishes second in the number 48 Chevrolet here at the end of the stage.
Used car shopping doesn't have to be scary. I don't want to overpay. Sure.
So now after the end of that stage, Alex Bowman and Joey Logano finish on the front row there. AJ Allmendinger with a nice finish there in fourth for his number 16 Chevrolet. Brad Keselowski finishes fourth in the number 6 Ford Mustang. Excuse me. We also see Eric Jones rounds out the top 5 here at the end of stage number 1 in his number 43 Toyota. Nice top 5 finish here for stage number 1. And John Hunter Nemechek, his teammate in the number 42 Toyota, finishes 6th here at the end of stage number 1. Ryan Preece, driver of the number 60 Ford Mustang for RFK Racing, finishes 7th. Chase Elliott, driver of the number 9 Chevrolet, finishes 8th. Denny Hamlin, driver of the number 11 Toyota Camry, finishes 9th, and Cold Custard rounds out the top 10 here for those at the end of stage number 1, and that'll be the teams and the drivers that get the stage points here at the end of stage number 1 here in the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series race at Martinsville Speedway. Hell yeah! Say my name, say my name. Boom, ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum, ba-dum, ba-bum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum-dum-dee-da-doo, da-doo-da-doom, da-da-doom-doom-doom-doom-doom. And seeing another additional angle here from the accident of Carson Hocevar into Chris Buescher. Hocevar kind of with nowhere to go as Chris Buescher in that number 17 Ford Mustang really pushed him up against the wall, with Carson Hocevar actually hitting the outside wall before he hit Buescher. So Buescher was just coming up too high into him. I would almost say Buescher probably caused that caution in that wreck there more than Hocevar did. And even the kids love coming to the racetrack. Hell yeah. And we see Joey Logano now with the lead here at the end of stage number 1. Some crucial stage points there. And we see Penske's performance by stage. They got 4 stage wins in stage 1 and 2. They are top 15. They have a top 5 15 times, but their average finishes in the final stage have been right around 19th place. So they've led 460 laps in stage 1 and 2, but have only led 90-something laps in the final stage and have yet to come up with the win this season. All right, and we'll now see some more pit stops here at the end of stage number 1, and we'll see how well these come into play. It looks like just about everybody's going to pit. Alex Bowman does not pit. That's an interesting decision. So it looks like only a few cars up near the front who took some stage points at the end there will come into pit.
He needs to be freer for laps 60 to 80 through the runs if we get more, or if we get any long runs. That's what they're going to work on with him. He's having to drive through the front tires to get it to turn. Jamie?
And the 22, Joey Logano, he had taken those right side tires.
So we see there AJ Allmendinger, Josh Berry, Joey Logano all making pit stops here at the end of the stage.
He's happy with the car.
Josh Berry heads off pit road ahead of Logano. Berry's now led the most laps for a Wood Brothers car in Martinsville since David Pearson in the spring of 1973, their last victory here. Joey Logano.
So Josh Berry leads the most laps by a Wood Brothers car since Pierce did it back in 73. So a good race here early on for Josh Berry in that number 21 Ford Mustang for the Wood Brothers. Thank you everybody for hanging out here on Tim Reynolds Show. Please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, folks. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate y'all. So we already see that the pit crews are playing big dividends already here for a lot of teams. So we'll see how much this really plays a big part into what happens going forward. Now, hopefully, we'll see some good, clean racing near the end, but at these short track races, you are bound to get anything but clean green flag racing. So, I already see the aggressiveness and everything stepping up here at this racetrack, and I'm really excited to see what's going to happen here in stage number 2. Cheers to you guys. Guys, don't forget to smash that like button. Woohoo! Do you feel heavy metal? Ooh. So yeah, looks like Alex Bowman will lead these cars here when we get started here at stage number 2. So driver, the number 48 Chevrolet, will be in the lead as we get ready for stage number 2 here at Martinsville Speedway. Right behind him, John Hunter Nemechek in the number 42 Toyota. His teammate Chase Elliott in 3rd place in the number 9 Chevrolet. Denny Hamlin in 4th place in his number 11 Toyota Camry. And Cole Custard in 5th place with his number 41 Ford Mustang. The 4 ones in 5th place. That's funny. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And there is the famous hot dog stand there at Martinsville.
How good are these hot dogs?
Man, I'm going to tell you one thing. When you come to Martinsville, the Martinsville hot dogs are good. You might not get 1, you might get 3.
It looks like you've had a few. How many?
Yeah, I done had 3 already.
You enjoy it? How do you
You either get it plain or you get it all the way. All the way is what I've got. What do you have?
I ordered a
You're
plate,
going to have to open
plate
that.
all the way.
Oh, yeah.
But what's amazing, it's NASCAR.
And Jamie McMurray with a big bite of those hot dogs there from the hot dog stand.
They sell over 70,000 each weekend, and they've been around for over 70 years. Just part of the tradition here. Mike, back to you guys.
Hey, doing great. How you doing?
Chris isn't going to eat it.
Yes, I do actually. I'm almost empty. And I need a hug and kiss too.
Come on, Myers.
I like
And look, they're eating hot dogs at the racetrack, man. That's what we're gonna be doing. Ain't she the bestest, guys?
Bills got each other.
Huh?
Our Bills.
Hell yeah, they did. All right, the lights are off on the pace car. So we'll see it restart coming up here on the next lap. Oh, looks like Austin Cindric had to make a pit as well.
That's a battery connector there on top of that big black box. So same song, second verse.
And you see it right there in his hand. That's the
So,
same thing that they're changing in that. Penske.
so already 2 different Penske cars
Thanks, Larry.
having to change out their electrical units. So we'll see how that plays dividends later on. And here we go, back race into stage number 2. As the Chevrolets lead the pack, the Hendrick Motorsports teammates are up front. Chase Elliott and Alex Bowman. The number 48 Chevrolet and the number 9 Chevrolet look strong here on the restart for stage number 2. And now we see here Denny Hamlin, that number 11 Toyota, looks fast right behind him. Elliott pulls ahead using that outside lane, carrying some more momentum and staying on the throttle longer heading into the corner. And he's able to take that and excel his way to the lead. Now Alex Bowman's on a different schedule here with tires. So this is going to be really interesting to see how this plays into the strategy for the number 48 team. And now on the inside of Alex Bowman comes Denny Hamlin, and he's going to take away that second place position away from the 48 Chevrolet of Alex Bowman. That purple That purple Chevrolet is fast, but he's not fast enough to hold off Denny Hamlin. So Denny Hamlin will take the second place position now in that number 11 Progressive Toyota Camry. The new sponsor there for Denny Hamlin. And now we see Kyle Larson gets on the inside of his teammate and takes away that top 3 spot away from Alex Bowman. Making his way up towards the front is Kyle Larson. But speaking of making his way up towards the front, Christopher Bell, the pole sitter here, has been able to get that number 20 Toyota Camry back up near the front as he's inside the top 10 right now, battling in the 9th place position, trying to take away 8th place away from Cole Custard in the number 41 Ford Mustang. We see another couple of Toyotas. John Hunter Nemechek in the number 42 Toyota Camry gets loose. He's having a nice run here inside the top 10, but gets loose there. And on the inside of him is Ty Gibbs with a nice run here in his number 54 Toyota Camry. Ty Gibbs having one of his best runs of the year thus far as he's riding inside now the top 8 positions in position number 6. And you see the last 3 finishes for Ty Gibbs, 22nd or worse. So he's got to do better here. And a top 10 finish, I think he'll take that here at Martinsville Speedway. So now we see right beside John Hunter Nemechek, we see Chase Briscoe and that number 19 Toyota trying to break inside of the top 9 positions here, and he will get past the number 42, but right behind him, Tyler Reddick trying to break inside the top 10 in his number 45 Toyota Camry. And now we see up towards the front, Bubba Wallace has got a move on the inside of the 48, and he's going to take away that 4th place position from Alex Bowman, who's dropping back ever so slightly with that different pit strategy that he is on. And we see Ross Chastain and that number 1 Chevrolet for Trackhouse Racing has now inserted himself inside the top 15, now in position number 12, battling for a top 10 spot. And right behind him is Ryan Blaney. That number 12 Ford Mustang looks like it's coming on strong here on the late run. Ryan Blaney's hoping to get that car inside the top 10. And now Alex Bowman is being passed by Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs with another nice move there gets himself inside the top 5. And John Hunter Nemechek continues to drop backwards on a different pit strategy than everybody else. So he's hoping that this will pay off in the long run. As we see Noah Grayson, the driver in that number Ford, and that number 4 Mustang, that Ford looks fast with that A&W sponsorship on it as well. Nice. And John Hunter Nemechek is struggling here to keep control of his car, with a lot of these other drivers finding a lot more speed. Oh, and there's some contact there from Justin Haley on the inside, the left front corner panel of the number 42. Finds some contact there on the... Oh, and some more contact there from Ty Dillon, who gets into the door jam there of the 42 Toyota. And right behind him is Joey Logano, who's dropped all the way back to the 20th place position after that round of pit stops. So the stage 1 winner now all the way back in 19th place, as Joey Logano has to battle his way back up towards the front. And speaking of battling, William Byron's been battling all race long, trying to get that number 24 Chevrolet back up towards the front, As we see, the biggest movers thus far have been Joey Logano, plus 8 spots. Ty Gibbs, that number 54 Toyota, up 5 spots. Austin Cindric, and that number 2 Ford Mustang, Joey Logano's teammate, has been up 4 spots since the restart. Oh, and Cole Custard gets on the inside of the number 48 of Alex Bowman. Could have possibly been some contact there. And Cole Custard still working the inside of the number 48 Chevrolet. Alex Bowman trying to fight off Cole Custard to hold on to that 6th place spot. But Cole on the inside looks like he's got the advantage there on the 48. And Danny Hamlin now trying to catch up with the leader, Chase Elliott. Hamlin really working that steering wheel well, getting that number 11 Toyota Camry around the racetrack. Working very, very well around the corners.
Well, Jamie, you're right. He told us in the pre-race he came with a different setup. He was tired of running second, third place, Kevin. He told us he felt like that's all that better he was.
Take a
second or
half.
third place car came with a different setup and a new vehicle.
And Cole Custard still battling it out here.
Eric Jones. Boy, he and AJ Allman
Trying to take away that 6th place spot from Alex Bowman.
gave Allmendinger the boot going into turn number 3. Back down in turn 1, and Allmendinger repays the favor, and it was more than bumper tag. It sent him up a lane.
So we see here that
Oh, man.
AJ Allmendinger gets some contact there, hard contact from the number 43, and AJ Allmendinger returns the favor, and now they're battling it out.
Nearly hit the rear like that. I mean, he came from nowhere, hit him hard. And that's how hard they fight here for 27th place.
And we see a lot of battling, a lot of bumping, a lot of tough, rough racing here at Martinsville Speedway as we head on to commercial break. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out here on Tim Reynolds Show. Please don't forget, guys, to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. All right, so we are here on commercial break. Looks like Joey Logano was able to win stage number 1, but once again finds his way to the back part of this racetrack. And now he's having to battle his way back up towards the front like a lot of the Penske Racing teammates are trying to do right now. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out here on Tim Reynolds Show. Don't forget, guys, to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. All right, we're here on commercial break. Waiting to come back here for some more NASCAR Cup Series racing. That's the way it is. That's the way that we live. Don't back down, don't ever give in, cause That's the way that we live. Da, 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 da. Wow! And next Sunday, we see the NASCAR Cup Series heads to Darlington Speedway.
Myers' car coming down the front straightaway lost fire and coasted to a halt there. You saw he was trying to turn into the garage area. Couldn't quite make it. They will push the number 50 to pit road.
And we see another car having some electrical issues as well. The number 50 Chevrolet of Burt Myers, who's making his first Cup Series start here, unfortunately has some electrical issues.
Everybody's got at least 30 to 35 laps on their tires. We're going to go back racing with probably close to 50 laps left in this stage. So this may be a good time to see everybody hit pit road and get those 4 fresh tires. That caution was John Hunter Nemechek, the 42 cars, best friend.
Yeah, he is 29th right now. As the caution flies, Chase Elliott.
So now with that caution coming out, we will see pit stops here again play a big part in this one, as Chase Elliott has now led 41 of the 124 laps thus far in this race, as we've almost made it to halfway.
Van Gisbergen, Cindric, and Keselowski, those guys were really starting to ratchet up the battle to stay on that lead lap. Try to put some distance between them and that guy right there, your leader.
Well, that guy right there, he's been busting all day. It's fun to watch him drive this racetrack, and the way that his style is sliding up the racetrack and the drive up off the corner. We saw it at Bowman Gray. Seems to be the same thing again today.
Now, a couple drivers in the top half dozen, Ty Gibbs and Cole Custer, are each looking.
All right, here we go. The front part of the racetrack. All of them are coming to pit lane, it looks like. A couple of drivers did decide to stay out. We'll see how that plays a big part here in this stage. Chase Elliott's been consistent, coming in and getting tires whenever he gets the opportunity to do so. And that number 9 Chevrolet has been fast here thus far in this race. A nice clean pit stop for him. Nice clean pit stop for the number 5 of Kyle Larson. It looks like we're going to have a new leader coming out here on pit road, though. Christopher Bell with a nice pit stop there. And we see Chase Briscoe comes out with the lead just ahead of Chase Elliott. Joey Logano and Christopher Bell also gained some spots on pit road. And they're loving it, the 22 Ford Mustang team for Penske Racing. And Joey Logano's going to like being out inside the top 5 on this next restart. Hell yeah! Thank you everybody for hanging out here on Tim Reynolds Show. Put you here to ear. 4 wide, 4 wide. More heart stopping, blood pumping, NASCAR Cup Series stock car racing at Darlington Speedway. Next week, we're going to be checking that out. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out here on the channel. That's right. It's race day, everybody. Let's go. You know what time it is. It's time for Tim Reynolds Show. Oh, yeah. Got our race trackers now working good. All right, this is another one. Another one for the chat. Are you ready? Are you ready, chat? Here we go. Boom, baby. That's right. Feel it, hear it, enjoy it, and cheers to all you guys out there. Woo! BK. Be okay. All right, so we're going to see a lot more different drivers up front here. As we see the top 6 drivers did not pit here as we go heading to this restart.
And here's the battery change on the Wood Brothers car.
That'll make for a long day for Josh Berry having to run all those switches off. It'll be hot in that thing.
So the top 5 stayed out. Larson and Briscoe got 2 tires.
All right, here we go on the restart. Denny Hamlin and Bubba Wallace go back racing as we see Toyotas lead the front row here on this restart here in stage number 2 with 49 laps to go. Bubba Wallace now in second place as Denny Hamlin pulls away with the lead. Right behind them is Ty Gibbs, a surprising contender here at Martinsville Speedway. And that number 54 Toyota Camry looks fast as he's made his way all the way towards the front. Denny Hamlin pulling away with the lead now here with Bubba Wallace in second and Ty Gibbs in third in that number 54 Toyota. And 4 top 5 finishes in the last 5 Martinsville races here for Denny Hamlin at a racetrack that he knows very, 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 very well. And now we see a battle here back behind the leaders as we're still 2-3 wide with Chase Elliott splitting the difference in between Christopher Bell and Cole Custard. Talk about a close call there, but Joey Logano is loose 3 wide right behind them as he splits the difference between William Byron and Cole Custard. Talk about a close call. Man, what some hell, that's some hell of racing. That is some hell of racing from Joey Logano. And now we see here Tyler Reddick able to get past Cole Custard and Noah Grayson as well. A nice move there. Oh, and Michael McDowell gets into the back of Cole Custard in that number 41 Ford, and he'll not be happy about that. A lot of contact here late in this race is going to play a big part into who's able to make it to the finish. And you definitely have to be aggressive here at this short racetrack here in Martinsville. If you see an opening, you got to take it because positions are hard to come by, and you're more than likely only going to get them on these restarts. There aren't going to be very many chances for you to get those. As Cole Custard continues to drop backwards in that number 41 Ford Mustang, we see Denny Hamlin continues to lead here with 42 laps to go here in stage number 2.
Logano on the outside 11th, working his way back up through.
Joey Logano trying to work his way up back inside the top 10 using the outside lane there, right next to his teammate Ryan Blaney. As they exchange spots there, the number 12 drops to the 12th place position, and Joey Logano able to take that 11th place spot. But Ryan Blaney's not letting him just have it with ease. They're battling it out right now.
But what happens in these Gen 7 cars, when you make contact with the right front, it instantly wants to snap the car around. So you can defend that inside car pretty well if you get aggressive with it.
Very aggressive racing here from the Penske racing teams. Right in front of them is William Byron, right inside the top 10 in that number 24 Chevy. But in the back of the pack, we're seeing Kyle Busch having to battle his way to get back up towards the front. And it has been one hell of a battle here thus far for the veteran, for Kyle Busch. Brad Keselowski right behind the number 8 and the 41, who's alongside of the number 8 of Kyle Busch, who's on the inside here on turn number 2. Coming down the backstretch, Kyle Busch trying to take that spot away, and he will. But we also see a battle inside the top 8 positions as, oh, Christopher Bell makes contact there with Daniel Suarez, pushes him out of the way, and that opens up an opening for Chase Elliott, who takes that number 7th place spot away from Daniel Suarez after the contact from Christopher Bell. Bell not playing around, using that front bumper of the number 20 Toyota to move the number 99 Chevrolet, Daniel Suarez, out of the way, and he takes that 6th place spot away. As we see, Denny Hamlin and Bubba Wallace are the 2 fastest cars on the racetrack, and they are 1 and 2 right now. And we see Chase Elliott is the 3rd fastest in 7th place. Christopher Bell, the 4th fastest in 6th place. And Ty Gibbs, who's currently in 3rd, is the 5th fastest car on the racetrack. A very impressive run here for Ty Gibbs, who has finished 22nd or worse in the last 3 straight races. So now he's looking to make a hell of a difference here in this one, already riding inside the top 3. Denny Hamlin continues to pull away with the lead, but the Toyotas continue to dominate with the top 4 cars, all Toyotas here early on in this race. Now the Chevrolets are holding their own as well with Ross Chastain and Chase Elliott in 5th and 6th. With 33 laps to go here in stage number 2, we're seeing one hell of a battle between these NASCAR Cup Series drivers. And Denny Hamlin, definitely a different driver here at this racetrack in Martinsville when he's got the lead. As we see him running very, very smooth laps. And Bubba Wallace right behind him is fast, but just not quite able to get the same grip and roll in the corner that Denny Hamlin's getting.
Absolutely, that's where you want to be, and that's where Toyota is right now. But the way this race is playing out with these cautions coming out here, there, everywhere, it's really shaking this race up. Can't get a good definitive answer on who has.
So with all these cautions sporadically coming throughout this race, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens going forward and how another caution or 2 could really play a big part in this finish coming up here at Martinsville Speedway.
To tell you the truth.
Thank you everybody for hanging out here on Tim Reynolds Show. Don't forget, guys, to please hit that like button and subscribe to Tim Reynolds Show. Yeah! Alright. We need our little commercial break stretch. Woo! Damn! Woo! Oh, gotta feel it. Ooh. Gotta stretch it out. Gotta stretch it out. Gotta stretch it out. Gotta stretch it out. Yeah, that's right. Here we go. Gotta stretch it out. Don't you know? Ooh! Oh, yeah. Oh. Woo! Cheers, guys. All right. Getting ready to come back from commercial break. Yeah, yo. Yeah, yo.
Two of the Cookout 400 at Martinsville Speedway. Denny Hamlin in the lead. Bubba Wallace 1.7 seconds back. There is a look at the gap from our aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Best seat in the house since
So we see some very, very good aerial coverage here of this track at Martinsville Speedway from the Goodyear blimp.
Austin Cindric, Eric Jones, Ty Gibbs, all having trouble with their driver cooling today.
And we see a lot of drivers having trouble with their cooling system, so a lot of electrical issues are happening here at this racetrack. And we're also starting to see that inside groove start to build the rubber up right there on the outside.
As they navigate around that and go to the outside, you slide across there with no front tires, you hit that patch, and it wants to turn. The more rubber gets built up, the more they move around. Whoa.
And we've seen Alex Bowman got really loose there. Able to recover, though, very nicely there in the 48. And we also see Chase Elliott was able to get on the inside there, the number 54. A nice move there gets him inside the top three. And Denny Hamlin continues to lead this race here at Martinsville Speedway with 18 laps to go. That number 11 Toyota Camry looks very, very good.
Carry momentum around this racetrack.
Well, you saw him right there with a really high entry. Now he's going to have to go under the...
Chase Elliott trying to get around lap traffic has led 43 laps today, and now in third place.
Which tells me, see if he does it again here. Right back to the bottom of the racetrack. Must have just done that for traffic, but as these guys go through this rubber, they'll start...
Denny Hamlin with the lead, Bubba Wallace in second place. Chase Elliott now trying to catch up to Bubba Wallace to battle for that second place spot. Ty Gibbs with a very, very impressive run here in fourth place. Chase Briscoe right behind him, his teammate for Joe Gibbs Racing, and that number 19 Toyota is in fifth place to round out the top five. And Alex Bowman, after that mistake on pit road and that slip up, he's all the way back in 28th place. Right now we see William Byron, his teammate for Hendrick Motorsports, battling for 12th place now with Joey Logano. The other two Hendrick Motorsports drivers, Kyle Larson and the number 5 Chevrolet, is currently in 9th. And Chase Elliott in the number 9 Chevrolet is currently in 3rd.
You're dead in the water when you're tied at Martinsville. You can't carry momentum. You can't get off the brake and let the car work. You can't pick up the gas because it hasn't rotated around. You're gonna have to get.
And we are hearing that William Byron's car is way too tight, and he can't get it around the racetrack the way he wants to. And we see Austin Dillon currently riding in the 16th place position. That number 3 Chevrolet looks very, very fast as he goes around his brother, Ty Dillon, in the number 10 Chevrolet.
Naturally kind of tight here, and especially in traffic. So what happens when you start talking to the crew chief about freeing that car up? A lot of times what will happen is it'll start getting loose on the entry, and it'll start getting loose on the exit, and it doesn't...
And we're seeing some rubber really start to get on the track here as we're approaching halfway through this race. And now Denny Hamlin coming up to lapped cars here. He's going to have to navigate and work his way around those vehicles. 11 laps to go for the number 11 Toyota Camry. Denny Hamlin now trying to work up near the top of the racetrack. But you can definitely see Hamlin really working hard to try to figure out a way to get around these lap cars before the second place vehicle gets too close to him.
Again, those first two cars have older tires when you look at Denny Hamlin and Bubba Wallace, and Chase Elliott's now really
So Chase Elliott really starting to use those fresher tires to his betterment, to his advantage. He's got less than half the laps on his tires that everybody else does in front of him, including Bubba Wallace and Denny Hamlin. So Chase Elliott taking advantage of the newer tires, and he's right on the back bumper of Bubba Wallace as Hamlin still trying to make his way through lap traffic, battling with Ricky Stenhouse Jr., the driver of the number 47 Chevrolet. And now Denny Hamlin on the inside of the 47. He should be able to take away that spot. And he laps another car here as he continues to lead this race with 7 laps to go. 7 laps to go here in stage number 2. Denny Hamlin trying to score some more big stage points here. But behind him, we got a battle for the second place position as Chase Elliott has now made it right to the back bumper of Bubba Wallace. That number 23 Toyota is fast, but it doesn't have as good of tires as Chase Elliott does. Elliott on those new tires gets on the inside of Bubba Wallace, and now that number 9 Chevrolet is trying to take away that second place spot away from the 23. And he will get on the inside, and coming out of here, we will see Chase Elliott take the second place spot away from Bubba Wallace. A nice move made there by Chase Elliott, using those newer, fresher tires to get around the 23. And now he'll try to head up towards the front to battle for the lead. But he's got to get around this lap traffic, just like Denny Hamlin's trying to navigate. But keep in mind, Chase Elliott has the faster car of these two. So we'll see how traffic plays a big part here with 4 laps to go to the end of this stage.
This is always the tricky part about being the leader.
And this is definitely the tricky part here about being the leader. You have got to try to find your way to get around this lap traffic in a decent amount of time. Otherwise, you won't be able to make any leadway. And we see 2,500 laps led at Martinsville by Denny Hamlin, the most among any active drivers. Congratulations to Denny Hamlin, who continues to show out here at Martinsville, one of his best racetracks here in the NASCAR Cup Series. And now 2 laps to go here in stage number 2. Chase Elliott now on the inside of the 47 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And now the Chevrolets will battle it out. But Chase Elliott should find his way to the back bumper of Denny Hamlin. But we are heading to the white flag here at the end of stage number 2. Denny Hamlin has the lead. Chase Elliott closing the gap. But I'm not sure Elliott's going to have anything for Hamlin on this end of this stage run. And Denny Hamlin coming around turn number 3 and 4 will get the stage win here. And Denny Hamlin wins stage number 2. And right at the end of the stage, we can see some debris on the racetrack. So a perfect time for a caution here for the NASCAR Cup Series, as we've seen Joey Logano win stage number 1, and now the winner of stage number 2 is Denny Hamlin. Big stretch, do it, gotta do it. You know, what they say is true. The older men get, the more we learn how to grunt and moan better. Ooh, need some more light in here. Woo! So after stage number 2, we will have to see who is able to take advantage of these pit stops and gain some more position, some more track position here on pit road. All right, guys, waiting to come back from commercial break. As we are short track racing here at Martinsville Speedway. One hell of a racetrack here for NASCAR.
Caution, and right at the end, we'll see the
And we seen yesterday in the Xfinity Series race, a lot of big bumping and racing, especially Tanner Gray getting knocked out from the lead by the number 8. And because of that, the number 21 of Austin Hill was able to get.
And probably more to come, because Sammy Smith, not only did he not apologize, he tried to justify what he did.
Well, that's right. Yeah, he tried to justify it, but you know, it's definitely not what we all want to watch, and not the racing that we were brought up in. So it would have been better to just make the call on the spot than wait, you know, to penalize a move like that. So it's unfortunate that we had to watch all that.
Well, I'm sorry, I said the Xfinity Series was a dumpster fire. It's not. A dumpster fire is contained, and that series is not right now. So this morning, NASCAR Director of Competition Elton Sawyer said in the drivers' meeting, he referenced those 2 races, and he said the key word in the tower today is going to be respect.
Yeah, but even Cal Petty, you're not wrong, right? Respect. What does that mean?
Yeah, we've seen a lot of drivers in the NASCAR series, whether it's Xfinity, the Truck, or the Cup Series, have started getting a lot too aggressive at these racetracks with their moves, bumping people out of the way and not showing enough respect towards these drivers. So it's going to be very interesting to see going forward how that really plays a big part into these races like this going forward, especially at these short track races, man. Like, you're right on top of each other, man. You have got to be willing to show people that respect. And now here we go. Everybody's coming to pit row.
Entering pit road. Pit road's open. Tuesday is penalty day in NASCAR, and we'll all be paying very close attention. Regan.
Ty Gibbs in the 54 car, 2 loose off of the corner.
And we see Chase Elliott into his pit stall. Nice, clean pit stop there for the number 9 Chevrolet Hendrick Motorsports Racing Team. Elliott stayed a little bit longer to get some fuel. Man, almost some contact there from Chase Briscoe coming out of the pits.
Denny pretty happy with it. A little bit loose. No issues in the center, though. Bubba Wallace feels like that car is on top of the race.
And looks like Denny Hamlin's going to make sure he comes out of the pits with the lead. But Chase Elliott able to take over that second place spot. And we see Christopher Bell jumps up 3 spots to 5th. Joey Logano jumps up 4 spots to 8th. And Kyle Larson jumps up 2 spots to the 7th place position after that battle off of pit road. Excuse me. And now Denny Hamlin, the stage 2 winner here at Martinsville, able to come out with the lead after that pit stop. Bum, bum. All right, here on another commercial break, guys, for here the NASCAR Cup Series race at Martinsville Speedway. Please make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Got our race tracker over there. Working good over there. Yeah, it's working really good. You see it? You see it? It's working good. It's working good. Hope everybody's doing good. How's everybody in the chat? Does anybody want to chat? Hit me up, man. Let's go. Hope you guys are having a terrific Sunday race day. Man, Some burgers sound pretty good right now. You'll never get where you're going if you don't ever stand up on your feet. And everything in life is hard to see. One foot in front of the other, and soon you'll be walking across the floor. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you, NASCAR fans. Play-by-play live on Tim Reynolds Show. It's the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series, don't you know? And I tell you right now, don't doubt the Toyotas, but damn, these Chevrolets are coming. Man, they're gonna show you. But you can't count out those Mustangs. Ford's got them going, and Ford Racing's got them Mustangs flowing on the track, don't you know? Oh, yeah, here we go. Yep, here we go. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out on the channel. Don't forget, guys, smash that like button. Subscribe to Tim Reynolds Show. Let's go. And, guys, next week, the NASCAR Cup Series goes racing at Darlington Raceway. It should be one hell of a race to cover for you guys next week. Even the dogs there, like the racetrack, man, they getting rough and rowdy. Ha ha! Rough, get it? Rough.
Denny Hamlin told us on the pre-race show this season hasn't quite had the winning car. He said they were on the cusp. Could this be the race for the Virginia native?
That's right. We here with the race recap. We see William Byron had a slow pit stop in that number 24 Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. And that really cost him. Chris Buescher gets spun out by Carson Hocevar. And that's what brought out a caution earlier in this race. We also see Bubba and Barry get into it in the pits there. The number 23 ran right into the 21. And we see Joey Logano win stage 1. Denny Hamlin win stage 2. So now we're in the final stage of this race here, about halfway through the laps.
I would tell you that Ty Gibbs is the one I had my eye on. Had an issue on pit road, got jumbled up, lost 6 spots. But scored his first stage points, Chris. And that's finished this year. He's been 16th at Daytona. He's having an exceptional run. Chase Elliott, though, I think is the guy that you got to keep your eye on for the win.
And that's right. They're keeping their eye on Chase Elliott, who's on the front row right now, but also Ty Gibbs, driver of the number 54 Toyota, having an impressive run, his best run of the year thus far.
The whole top 5 except Chase Elliott are Toyotas. Joe Gibbs Racing had not run a lap with all 4 cars.
So here we go. 4 of the top 5 are Toyotas as we go for this restart here.
A good day. Hamlin, Elliott, Wallace, Briscoe, Bell.
It's Hamlin, it's Elliott, and we're back racing here at Martinsville Speedway as they go down the front stretch and into corner number 1. Denny Hamlin pulls away with the lead, and on the inside of Chase Elliott is Bubba Wallace. The number 23 Toyota looks fast as he tries to remain on the inside of Elliott, and right behind Denny Hamlin, the leader, as they are battling 2 by 2 by 2 all the way behind the leader as we go down the front stretch here on lap 195. As we go into the exit of turn number 2, we see Chase Briscoe is battling with his teammate Christopher Bell to try to hold on to that 4th place position. Chase Elliott is battling as well to hold on to 2nd place from Bubba Wallace. That number 23 Toyota Camry looks fast as Elliott crosses over on the inside and he takes that inside lane away from Bubba Wallace. And now he holds on to the 2nd place spot. But here comes Ryan Blaney back near 6th place. He's trying to get inside the top 5 as he's on the inside of the number 19 Toyota of Chase Briscoe. Nice aggressive driving here by Ryan Blaney. And right behind him is Kyle Larson in that number 5 Chevrolet. That's been fast all day long. But he's going to try to insert himself here right on the inside of Chase Briscoe if he's wanting to hang on to this.
We're going to see another one, too. Briscoe trying to hold off Kyle Larson now for 6th spot. It's a
show us one of those no-lift shifts that Larry was talking about. Watch, foot on the floor, never lifted. As soon as that thing bumped the rev limiter, went right back into gear.
And we see
That's time.
Chase Briscoe really revving those pedals hard to try to hold on to that spot there in 6th place.
Do it anymore. Coming in.
Right behind him is Kyle Larson, who's actually battling now with Ross Chastain, who's right on his back bumper. But behind him, we see Ty Gibbs making his way inside the top 10, getting around Joey Logano. And right behind Logano is William Byron, the driver of the number 24 Chevrolet, trying to insert himself inside the top 10 as well.
Did he catch the wall here? Yeah. I think he got moved into the wall. Probably not going to be very happy about it.
You saw
And we see Joey Logano made some contact with the interior, or I should say the outside wall there on the right side of his car. What kind of damage could that bring for the number 22? We'll have to wait and see.
And then plug that for the connector on your shirt, and it will drain out the bottom.
Yeah, there's no water coming out. Gosh, I think they just build these things just so they can break on you.
Oh, and now the caution flag comes out as Ty Gibbs was getting pushed out of the way there, as we were hearing some communication there from Ty, who's extremely frustrated with the cool suit that's not seem to be working here.
Here's a look at what happened. Oh, 3 wide.
Yeah,
And they were 3 wide there as Herbst, the number 35 car, runs into the number 2 of Austin Cindric, and Cindric didn't like that and takes out the number 35. And unfortunately there, after that sandwich between him and AJ Allmendinger, Austin Cindric retaliates and takes out Herbst there in the number 35 Toyota. What that's going to mean for the rest of his day, we'll have to wait and see. But the interesting part here is that NASCAR already warned these drivers before the start of this race about showing respect and courtesy to other drivers, and we may have not really seen that there. So Austin Cindric could be looking at a fine from NASCAR on Tuesday for that move there. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out here on Tim Reynolds Show, and welcome to this NASCAR race day for the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series race at Martinsville Speedway. They call it the paperclip because we're short track racing, baby. Let's go, and welcome to Tim Reynolds Show. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Yeet! What we talking about? We talking about yeet! That's right, dog, because what we doing is all like yeet! Oh, can you hear me? Saying hello from the other side. Tell you I'm sorry for breaking your heart, and you won't ever hear me complaining at all anymore. Man, these commercials are long commercials. Boom, boom, dun, 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 dun. And man, it's been opening week around Major League Baseball as we've seen one of Fox's NASCAR Race Day Zone, Michael Waltrip, for the opening week parade there in Cincinnati for the Cincinnati Reds. And we will see a Speedway Classic, a baseball game played inside Bristol Speedway. That's going to be really awesome. For the MLB Speedway Classic. Wow. That should be pretty dang cool, man. A baseball game played inside the racetrack of Bristol. Wow. That'll be pretty cool to check out. All right, guys, we are officially under halfway to go here in this race. We should be at about lap 208 or 209 when we get started back up here on this restart. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out here on Tim Reynolds Show. Don't forget, guys, to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel.
The 34th last car on the lead lap when we restart. Hamlin and Wallace, two Toyotas will be on the front row. The Chevy of Chase Elliott and the Ford of Ryan Blaney.
He has arrived. 32nd where he started.
And now, after Ryan Blaney started 32nd, he now has arrived inside the top 4 as we go back racing here at Martinsville Speedway. It looks like Bubba Wallace spun the tires there on the outside. Then Chase Elliott looks to take advantage. And there was a domino effect behind the 23 and the 12 of Ryan Blaney got into his back bumper. As Denny Hamlin pulls away with the lead, Chase Elliott now pulls alongside Bubba Wallace for that second place spot. Christopher Bell is now on the inside of Ryan Blaney, trying to take away that 4th place position from the number 12. And Christopher Bell does clear Ryan Blaney, and he's now inside the top 4 here. As we see Chase Elliott battling with Bubba Wallace, he's now right to the back bumper of Denny Hamlin as Chase Elliott takes away that 2nd place spot away from Bubba Wallace. But that number 23 Toyota is under fire. Right behind him is Christopher Bell in the number 20 Toyota Camry, and he is fast. A lot of these drivers saying single file right now. A lot of them trying to work that inside lane. That outside lane has not gotten going yet with all the rubber on the track. Joey Logano racing very aggressively here as he's inside the top 10. Trying to get even further up towards the lead. Battling with Ty Gibbs for that 9th place spot. Ty Gibbs with a very, very good run here at Martinsville. The best run of the season thus far for that number 54 Toyota Camry racing team for Joe Gibbs Racing. Ty Gibbs is definitely hoping to hold on to that spot and get a top 10 finish here, which would be his best finish of the year here in this young 2025 NASCAR Cup Series season. And we see up front Chase Elliott now in 2nd place comfortably. But he's trying to work his way up towards the leader, Denny Hamlin. And we see a battle here near 15th place between Austin Dillon and Tyler Reddick. Oh, some contact there as Tyler Reddick got a little loose on the exit of the corner coming down the front stretch. But we see that Austin Dillon really driving that car very tight to the outside of the number 45. And we see, oh, some contact there from the number 3 as he got on that outside panel there of the number 45 Toyota Camry. A nice battle here for Austin Dillon, who's really trying to make that outside lane work. But there's a lot of bumping and racing going on here at Martinsville Speedway.
Racing for the Rock. NASCAR returns to Rockingham Easter weekend with the Truck at Xfinity Series. Hope they get a big crowd. Clinton, you're going to take the train to the Rock? They got a train running now from Raleigh and from Southern Pines down to the racetrack. Great idea. Who doesn't like a train ride? Go to the racetrack.
So here we go. Denny Hamlin continues to hold on to the lead. Bubba Wallace, who was 3rd at the end of stage number 2, now currently is in that 3rd place position. It looks like he's got some good run on the exit of the corner for Bubba Wallace. But getting into the corner seems to be his problem with that number 23.
races here last year. But he moved on up. I talked to Charles this morning.
So Bubba Wallace really trying to make things work there in that number 23 Toyota Camry. Right behind him is Christopher Bell. Bell has worked his way all the way back up inside the top 5 after ending up all the way back near 30th place position early in the race due to some mistakes not only on pit road but also on the track.
New to the team, new to the squad, new to the 23 team. So it's a big learning curve for him. He's been so invested at picking up the ball quick and taking it to new levels. Somehow he renewed Freddie Kraft's contract for me personally for the 15th year. My big brother. It's nice to have a familiar voice in your ear.
And Bubba Wallace, who's been in this NASCAR Cup Series now for about 8 years, will continue to have the same spotter that he's had throughout his career, which is awesome to hear. Bubba Wallace definitely one of those better drivers off the track. Definitely shows a lot of respect to his teammates and everybody else. And Charles DeNike is the new crew chief for the number 23 Toyota team. And Bubba Wallace is having a very impressive run here at Martinsville, currently riding in the 3rd place position, as the cars now have started to split up and spread out. As we see, Denny Hamlin continues to hold on to the lead at a racetrack where he proves to be very, very good and dominant, as he's led the most laps here at Martinsville over any other Cup Series driver. And we see some contact there from Cole Custer in the number 41 Ford Mustang, getting contact with the number 47 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And Stenhouse did not like that, as he has to lock up the brakes and cannot. Oh, Ryan Priest off the pace. And we see a couple different cars split the number 60. And oh, Ryan Priest now into the side of the number 41 and the number 2, as they're 3 wide coming down the front stretch. And Ryan Priest is not backing down. Oh, cutting off the 41, pulling up right in front of him. And now we got some aggressive racing near the back of the pack here. Oh, and there's some more contact there. The 48 got into the 43. Or I should say the 88 got into the 43. And the 43 got into the 47. A lot of bumping and racing here near the back of the pack, as we see Josh Berry trying to work his way back up towards the front after that pit stop issue with the electrical where they had to switch out the battery. And that really cost Josh Berry a bunch of spots and put him near the back of the pack. And now he's battling with the number 47, trying to get around that Chevrolet and get himself closer up near the front. Ross Chastain running very, very well in his number 1 Chevrolet for Trackhouse Racing. They're on the inside there, coming down the backstretch. And we see currently Ross Chastain is in the 7th place position. He's been able to get around a lot of drivers here on this racetrack and has slowly but surely worked his way inside the top 10. Right behind him is Chase Briscoe, having one of the better runs of the season thus far here at Martinsville. As we see currently, he's in 8th place, and that number 19 Toyota that's proven to be very fast here at Martinsville. And we see John Hunter Nemechek in that number 42 Toyota struggling to find grip here on this racetrack. And teammates Carson Hocevar and Justin Haley make contact there in the corner. Looks like Hocevar overdrove the corner and gets into the side of his teammate number 7, Justin Haley. Currently in 21st and 22nd. Justin Haley in 22nd, trying to get ahead of his teammate here. I wonder how aggressive he'll continue to race him as Hocevar continues to race aggressively and get into too many drivers' corner panels. And now we see Daniel Suarez here currently in 11th place in his number 99 Chevrolet for Trackhouse Racing. And Daniel Suarez seems to always find his way up towards the top 10 and just about any racetrack, but right now Danny Hamlin is the one currently dominating this racetrack.
With 169 laps to go, riding with Bubba Wallace in third, just ahead of Christopher Bell in fourth.
And now with 168 laps to go here in this 400-mile race at Martinsville Speedway, we're riding along with Bubba Wallace, who's running very, very well right now, currently in third place. A lot of these cars are spread out and split up right now. So what we're starting to see is the leaders starting to lap drivers here and see how this is going to play a big part as we head towards our fuel window. If we stay under green here and start having green flag pit stops, that's going to play a very, very big part into who's going to be able to win this race.
Many people other than the people that were around you. And when you finally get that group of people around you, like it seems Bubba has right now with crew chief, owner,
and Christopher Bell, currently in the fourth place position, has led 24 laps today at Martinsville. A very, very strong day for that number 20 Toyota Camry racing team for Joe Gibbs Racing.
Goes out and wins the pole. He was the 17th driver to time trial. He had to wait and watch 21 more drivers after him take a crack at it. Some came close, but nobody beat him for the pole position.
and they know that they need to be better.
And Christopher Bell did win the pole here to start this race at Martinsville Speedway. And he's definitely been able to hold it up right now, currently running inside the top 5. Chase Briscoe now currently riding inside the top 8 in the 8th place position, having a very, very good, successful run here in his number 19 Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. Tyler Reddick, who normally doesn't do very well here at Martinsville, this racetrack's kind of been, I guess, bad to him, if you would say. Currently, right now, is in the 15th place position there in his number 45 Toyota Camry for 2311 Motorsports. And how about Ty Gibbs? Currently riding in 9th place in that number 54 Toyota Camry. Joe Gibbs Racing has got to be very, very proud and happy of the fact that Ty Gibbs is finally having a good run here in the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series season.
Thanks to Toyota for providing us with more green flag action here from Martinsville with our Toyota.
And Denny Hamlin continues to hold on to the lead here with 160 laps to go here in this race at Martinsville Speedway. He's led 114 of 239 laps thus far, as Denny Hamlin continues to show why Martinsville Speedway is one of his best tracks in his NASCAR Cup Series career.
Yeah, Mike, I think what's going to happen, they're going to end up splitting this stage in half, which means they're going to probably start coming anywhere north of lap 290 with about 110 laps to go.
All right, so we're hearing pit strategy here. Could be a lot of these teams choosing to split this last stage in half, depending on how many green flag laps we continue to run, as we see Chase Elliott, who's currently in second and has also led 42 laps here today, looking very good in that number 9 Chevrolet, that Napa Chevrolet.
For 116 circuits, by far the most of any driver. Bubba Wallace 2.3 back now.
And I think that the cloud cover, and you see the sun start to pop out as I mentioned that here and there, but I think that the cloud cover has kind of minimized.
So we could see the weather, I guess, play a big part here of this race as well, according to the broadcast booth there.
Really deep green flag runs, like it feels like we're in the middle of right now. So hopefully we can get deep into this run and really see which cars fall off bad.
It's lap traffic.
Kyle Larson currently in the 6th place position in his number 5 Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. Ross Chastain right behind him in the number 7th spot in that number 1 Chevrolet for Trackhouse Racing. And we're seeing how the weather can make a big impact here on this racetrack, with some cloud cover over the racetrack, and also the sun starting to poke its head out a little bit, shining on the track, which could definitely change the track temperature and the way these cars grip and handle on this racetrack. Joey Logano currently in 10th place, trying to continue to battle it out to stay inside the top 10. But right behind him is Daniel Suarez, in that number 99 Chevrolet for Trackhouse Racing, trying to get inside the top 10 to join his teammate Ross Chastain. That would be a very, very nice finish for Trackhouse Racing. And oh man, after leading some laps in this race, we are seeing Alex Bowman being lapped by Denny Hamlin after he is currently in the 32nd place position.
I thought that the speed in that car was pretty good, but evidently, as everything has happened with all of their circumstances, definitely not the day that we expected out of that 48.
And Alex Bowman definitely has to be frustrated not being able to have a good run here as he drops all the way back near the 32nd place position. And William Byron doing okay. That number 24 Chevrolet is in 12th place currently. A 12th place finish might not be that great for William Byron standards, but how about Zane Smith currently riding in 13th in that Long John Silver's number 38 Ford Mustang. He looks very impressive here early on. A very solid run for Zane Smith. And Michael McDowell and that number 71 Chevrolet currently running in the 14th place position, as having a very nice day thus far in that Chevrolet. Been able to keep it out of the wall and keep it clean for the most part. And because of lap traffic, we see Chase Elliott is starting to gain some road on Denny Hamlin. So we'll see what Elliott's able to do here with this lap traffic, giving him an advantage against the leader, Denny Hamlin, as we are at 150 laps to go here at this racetrack at Martinsville Speedway. And Chase Elliott now tries to get around the number 51. He will get on the inside of that car and lap him as he tries to get to the back bumper of Denny Hamlin.
We saw this exact same thing playing out that last run as it stage come to a close. He was running them down, and I think his maneuverability building the race car.
And right now, as these cars continue to separate themselves from each other, Denny Hamlin has the lead. Chase Elliott trying to see where he can have the best grip from his car as he's working all kinds of lanes right now right behind the leader. Now, we all know that Denny Hamlin's a very good defensive driver as well for being a guy who can win a bunch of races. So Chase Elliott's going to have his work cut out for him here as he tries to battle his way up towards the lead. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out here on Tim Reynolds Show. Please make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And welcome to my live play-by-play for the NASCAR Cup Series race at Martinsville Speedway. It's short track racing at the paperclip, guys. And right now, it looks like everybody is on the same sort of cycle with tires, besides a handful of cars who are about almost 20 laps, 18 laps difference on their set of tires.
Much more difficult for Denny.
Yeah, you see 69 laps on these tires.
And right now, Denny Hamlin still battling with lap traffic as he tries to find his way around it. Chase Elliott is right behind him, waiting for Denny Hamlin to make a mistake so he can take that lead away from the driver of the number 11 Toyota Camry. 144 laps to go here in this race. And we see here Tyler Reddick really battling it out with Michael McDowell for that spot inside the top 15.
The thing that's happening with these cars right now, they're starting to get loose into the corner. So that downshift that we talked about earlier that you do going into.
So now a lot of these cars are starting to get way too loose as we continue on this. Oh, some contact there from Tyler Reddick, and his back right corner panel gets into the left door panel of the number 71 Chevrolet. After that contact, though, no worse for wear, as we see the 71 driving okay, the number 45 driving okay. And now Denny Hamlin coming up to lap traffic once again. But Chase Elliott is right behind him, and man, we've seen a lot of bumping, a lot of rough racing And man, we still got a lot of laps left to go here at Martinsville Speedway. The paperclip is short track racing, boys, here for the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series. And on the inside, it's Ross Chastain as we go side by side here on this commercial here for the Cup Series. NASCAR Cup Series race at Martinsville Speedway. Ross Chastain on the inside of Kyle Larson. He's going to try to take away that spot from the number 5 Chevrolet. Battling alongside him. Oh, Ross Chastain gets into the number 5 and forces Kyle Larson out of the way. And oh, Larson is not going to like that. And watch out, because I guarantee you're going to see Kyle Larson repay that. But right now, Chase Briscoe's getting into his left back corner panel of the number 5, trying to force his way past Kyle Larson. So right now, Ross Chastain able to move up inside the top 6, in 6th place now after passing Larson. Larson drops back to 7th. He's under fire from Chase Briscoe, but now Briscoe's under fire from Ty Gibbs, and there's contact there as well from the right front tire of the number 54 Toyota, who's now under fire from Joey Logano. What a battle going on here, folks. Chase Briscoe trying to hold off his teammate, but also Joey Logano's right behind him as well. And now Logano, oh my goodness! Call that a close call. The number 50 almost got involved in a huge wreck with Joey Logano and Ty Gibbs. But Joey's able to evade at the last minute. And Ty Gibbs now will drop back behind the number 22 as Joey Logano takes that 9th place spot away from the Toyota driver. Oh, it's magic, you know. Better believe it's not so. All right, so here we go. Green flag pit stops are underway. As we see William Byron, one of the first drivers in for green flag pit stops here, changing all 4 tires on that number 24 Chevrolet and putting it full of fuel. Denny Hamlin continues to hold on to the lead as we start seeing green flag pit stops now cycle their way through. Chase Elliott now has dropped back just a little bit as Denny Hamlin and him continue to battle through traffic. And we see a lot more rubber buildup starting to happen on this racetrack, which definitely should change the characteristics around of this race, including the overcast here with the cloud cover. And now we see Denny Hamlin continue to stay out on the racetrack here as he's lapping another driver, the 43 of Eric Jones. And that Toyota now will go down a lap to the leader, Denny Hamlin. Joey Logano continues to battle as he's right behind Chase Briscoe trying to get inside the top 8. They're passing lap traffic as well right now currently. Joey Logano really having to recover strong from that mistake inside the pits.
Have the speed to be able to run where they need to be on the racetrack, but you look at Denny Hamlin right here. He has driven away from the 9 car, and that's what we were discussing earlier was how do we get to the end of this run and how do these cars perform?
And now with 129 laps to go, Denny Hamlin holds on to the lead, but Chase Elliott continues to fall backwards behind the leader.
Looking for a pit stop soon. Brad Keselowski on pit road. Noah Gragson coming in. And Shane Van Gisbergen.
And we see the last 4 laps, Chase Elliott's really starting to fall back here from the leader.
That right rear tire starts sliding and starts spinning the rear tires up off the corner.
So it's just a matter of time before we see the leaders start pitting as well. Currently, it's a lot of drivers in the back that have already made their pit stops.
Denny Hamlin's last Martinsville win was here 10
led 148 laps of the 273 we have ran here at Martinsville. In 38 races in his career at Martinsville, he's got 5 wins, does Denny Hamlin, and 20 top 5s. Those 5 wins are most among any active drivers here. And uh-oh, we got a flat tire here, and the caution flag is out. And that's going to be huge for a lot of drivers who have yet to pit on these green flag pit stops.
And lost the right rear. Well, there's that. So everyone who just made a stop will take the wave around. Now, as that was happening, Josh Berry came into his pits very, very slowly, made it there, and now pulls out. Berry is 3 laps down, and Cole Custer was slow in the back straightaway, then grabbed a gear and got going again. So.
And we see a lot more electrical issues happening. Electrical issues cost Josh Berry, the driver of the number 21 Ford Mustang. We even seen here on the replay, Van Gisbergen's tire was definitely coming off. And unfortunately, he spins out right after coming out of the pits. But we also seen on that replay that the number 7 of Justin Haley also got into the wall.
And I don't know. How can there not be a warning that that tire's not on there? A tire carrier, like that changer, he knew that it didn't go on there all the way. Or felt something wrong. Maybe an alert, something, hey, we don't know.
Well, not always.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you know,
So the wheel, you see,
it would be something.
the wheel sits on the spindle, and it's held in place by those pins all the way around. And as long as you don't have sideward motion, you can accelerate, you can brake, you can go fast and slow, and then as soon as you try to turn, whoops, nothing's holding it on.
So now that means that 88 of Shane Van Gisbergen will now head back to the pits after losing a tire.
The way that is, and you can see right there, you see those notches in that lug nut right there? That has to go over the pin. We cover it all the time. Larry shows us that. When that wheel doesn't go on, it's because the pins behind the wheel aren't aligned. It won't let the wheel go down all the way onto the hub. And this is exactly what we're going to show you. That is the keeper that you see. If it doesn't, that's what happens right there. The wheel's not all the way on, so the lug nut goes tight, but it isn't tight because the wheel's not all the way on.
So it's very important that they get those tires all the way on those cars, man. And then these next-gen cars, we've seen it so many times. These tires just fall off. And that will mean that we'll see a suspension for the number 88 team for Shane Van Gisbergen. Either his crew chief or a crew member will be suspended for that tire coming off on the racetrack. That is definitely frowned upon by NASCAR. And now with this caution flag out with 121 laps to go, we'll see who's going to pit. More than likely, we'll see everybody in the front pit because they have yet to make it into the pits here on this round of pit stops. But that does mean that we're going to see a lot more different track position here from a lot of drivers.
There's a good chance you won't split this out. Eric Jones gets the free pass.
So everybody that hasn't pitted is coming in now for tires and gas. And the number 1 of Ross Chastain into his pit box cleanly, and so is Chase Elliott of the number 9 Chevrolet. Looks like a nice clean pit stop for both teams. Chase Elliott stayed a little bit longer for fuel. Ross Chastain comes out clean after that pit stop. Denny Hamlin looking to have a clean pit stop as well here with that number 11 Toyota Racing Team, and he gets out of the pits clean as well. He should win the race off of pit road. Oh! And looks like one of the crew members for Christopher Bell fell down. I'm not sure if they had a problem with that number 20 Toyota, but he comes out, I believe, in second. Looks like he will come out in second here after that round of pit stops. So a nice little comeback here from Christopher Bell. Woohoo! Don't you feel heavy, metal? Woohoo! We're going boogity, boogity, boogity. We're going racing, boys. Oh, yeah. Bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-da, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Boom, ba-dum, ba-da, bum. Ba-dum, ba-da, bum. Ba-dum, ba-da, bum, bum, bum. Hey, yo, what do you know? Say, hey, yo, what do you know? It's the Bebo in the house. Let's go with the heights. Go pack that bags and watch. Let's go. Quick jam, all up in your face. What's up? Come on, gotta feel the bass. We rock it down the room. Hank in the face when to break the boom. It rock that body, work that body. Come on, baby, don't hurt nobody. Get down and lose your mind. Kick that beat in overtime. I said, hey, DJ, turn it up. Come on, baby, burn it up. Come on, y'all, and get on the floor. I say, hey, here we go. All right. Everybody got to jump around and say, whoop, there it is. Everybody got to jump around and say, whoop, there it is, boy. Everybody get up, it's time to slam now. We got a real jam going down. Welcome to the Space Jam. Here's your chance, do your dance at the Space Jam. Alright, alright, alright. Hey ladies, yeah, are y'all ready to stop? No, y'all wanna know why? That's cause the fellas saying, fellas, yeah, y'all ready to stop? No, y'all wanna know why? That's because the fellas saying. Ooh, yeah, baby.
The Cookout 400 at Martinsville Speedway, 118 laps to go.
And here we go. It's time to go back NASCAR Cup Series racing.
By Goodyear, celebrating 100 years of an American icon, the Goodyear blimp. They set this track at kind of the bottom of a swale or a bit of a ravine because then they wouldn't have to do as much work to build grandstands on either side as you went up the hill. That's what they did in 1947. They paved it in the middle 50s. They concreted it in the corners a couple of decades later. And here we are.
How's that work for drainage, Mike? Pretty good?
Down the hill. Keep going down the hill.
Keep going down the hill.
Yep. Right. Gravity works. Earl's family houses on the property there at the top. Now camping area on race weekends.
The beautiful Martinsville Speedway. A lot of NASCAR fans there today.
We've seen, well, I mean, everybody's going to be on even tires now, so that loose wheel really throws.
Don't forget, guys, to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Appreciate you guys supporting and hanging out here for my live play-by-play for the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series race at Martinsville Speedway. We're short track racing, boys, and it should be one hell of a race to the finish here.
You know, we know why. I mean, that's the difference. The crumbs make the difference, and pit road is a huge part of that.
Here's what's around the turn on Fox. The NHRA, quickest and fastest of all motorsports. Right? Just ask Bob Taskin III. The Pomona finals are next. And for NASCAR, the Goodyear 400 at Darlington next Sunday, 2 p.m. Throwback paint schemes. IndyCar, the fastest thing on wheels.
All right, here we go. Waiting for the restart here. We should be restarted with 115 laps to go.
I can add nothing to help resolve that debate. I'm just happy they're all on Fox.
I like that, but I'll fix it. I'm just glad that the best racing is on NASCAR.
All right.
And these little circle tracks, you know. I mean,
Denny Hamlin and Bubba Wallace will start on row number 1. Behind them on row number 2, Christopher Bell and Kyle Larson. In row number 3 will be Chase Elliott and Ryan Blaney. In row number 4 will be Ross Chastain and Chase Briscoe. And in row number 5 will be Joey Logano and Ty Gibbs. And that rounds out your top 10 here as we get ready for this restart here in the final stage of this race in the NASCAR Cup Series at Martinsville Speedway.
Larson, Briscoe. Chastain is up there. Then Joey Logano, Ty Gibbs.
And here we go. Restart is underway, and Denny Hamlin takes off like a speeding bullet. A beautiful restart from the 11 as he takes the lead here coming out of turn number 2. Christopher Bell on the inside of Bubba Wallace, that number 20 Toyota, trying to take away that second place spot. But Bubba Wallace is not going to back down without a fight. As we come out of turn number 4, we see Bubba Wallace and Christopher Bell side by side before Christopher Bell takes away that second place spot away from Bubba Wallace and now starts to pull away as he goes to battle with the leader. Just behind Bubba Wallace now, teammates Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson battling it out inside the top 5. Elliott, after that pit stop, unfortunately lost a couple of spots, but still inside the top 5. Chase Elliott's got a good spot here on the inside of the number 5. That's the preferred lane he wants to be in. But right now, coming out of the corner, he looks faster than the number 5. Oh, look at that. Ross Chastain with an aggressive move tries to put Kyle Larson out of his way. And contact there coming out of the corner as well as Ross Chastain continues to put that number 1 Chevrolet into the number 5 Chevrolet. And Kyle Larson's not going to take too kindly to that as we see contact once again on the next lap. Oh, and there we got Ryan Blaney also with a nice shove to the number 5. That's some hard contact there. Kyle Larson somehow able to hold on to his car, but now under duress, as we see he's under siege now from the number 19 of Chase Briscoe. And Briscoe very close to making contact with Kyle Larson as well, but he's able to hold on to that inside lane, that preferred lane, over the number 5. And Briscoe slowly but surely gaining some ground to try to take away that 6th place spot away from Kyle Larson. But Larson ain't going to just let him have it. Right behind them is Joey Logano, who's right behind both of those drivers, waiting for one of them to make a mistake before he takes away 2 spots. And we see here Kyle Larson continues to battle it out in his number 5 Chevrolet against Chase Briscoe and that number 19 Toyota.
Things that they had go wrong at the beginning of the year, and so far today have put together another solid top 10 performance.
I like what you're saying there, and I think that's a Gibbs thing. That's a Toyota thing. These Toyotas are strong.
So 5 top 5 finishes in the last 6 Martinsville races for Chase Briscoe. He's hoping to keep that success going, and he's able to get in front of the number 5 of Kyle Larson. Larson finally dive bombs back to the inside. He'll now take that inside lane. Oh, almost some contact there between Joey Logano and Kyle Larson right behind Chase Briscoe in that 7th place spot as Joey Logano tries to take it away from Kyle Larson on the outside, and he will do it. A nice move there from Joey Logano in the number 22 Ford Mustang. A beautiful move there gets him up into the 7th place spot. And Kyle Larson continues to fall backwards after a lot of battling here up front.
Austin Dillon's going after Tyler Reddick. That's for 12th place. And wherever Austin has been all day long, Ty Dillon has been right there with him.
And we see Austin Dillon currently in 13th, battling. Oh, Ty Gibbs gets spun around by Tyler Reddick. And the number 38 of Zane Smith gets into the side of the number 54. Hopefully it's just minor damage, though. Oh, man, that number 38 looks like it's got some damage there on the hood. The number 54 doesn't look that bad. We'll have to see what happens, but man, Ty Gibbs has got to be so frustrated with that. His best finish this year has been 16th. He's 34th in point standings, and he was having such a great run here at Martinsville, and now he'll have to go head to the pits. As we see here, the 54 on the replay got in a little too high in the corner, and we see Tyler Reddick had a lot of momentum coming around that corner and just ends up spinning the number 54 Toyota of Ty Gibbs right out there. Ty Gibbs, unfortunately, just didn't have the speed coming out of the corner there. And now Ty Gibbs is in a rough spot here with this caution coming out with 100 laps to go.
Something happening. He got loose, had a little bit of trouble, and it was in the 45's lap. Obviously, he turned him around, but I think there was a little bit more to the story.
Here's some audio from Ty Gibbs.
Just hurry this thing up, please. Buddy, it's gonna be okay. Keep me away from that little after this race, too.
And Zane Smith, you saw the 38, nowhere to go. Good bit of damage on the front of his car. Everybody scattered, but Ty Gibbs was just right in his lap as he got to the middle of turn 2.
And poor Zane Smith, his second year in the Cup Series, gets caught up in that wreck there in the number 38 Ford Mustang. He's got some damage on the top of his car. And then, Tyler Reddick also has some damage on the front right part of his number 45 Toyota Camry.
It's been so intense. So anytime you get a break, it feels pretty good. You want to loosen your belts, take a drink of water, take a deep breath, get everything resituated in the car, and get ready to fire off again, because as this race goes, it will get more and more intense. We've got 100 to go.
So with 100 laps to go, the race is definitely getting way more and more intense, and we'll see how this plays a big factor here in the end of this race.
Because of doing something different. But I like your comment there. It gives you a chance to think about what to do next for a change to get that magical moment to win this race at the end.
Ty Dillon pits from 13th place. He is the first of a half dozen or so cars to come to pit road. I'll take you side by side.
And we see now, we will see now some drivers choose to pit, some drivers won't. So we'll see how pit strategy comes into play here with 99 laps to go. Oh my! And we see the pit crew there for the number 38 Ford Mustang of Zane Smith trying to really just hit that hood back down so it's not sticking up in the air anymore. We'll see what kind of help that really does there for the number 38 team. Zane Smith having a pretty good run thus far here in this one. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out here on Tim Reynolds Show. Please don't forget, guys, to hit that like button and subscribe to Tim Reynolds Show. So it looks like not a lot of drivers are looking to pit here already. So it could be a pit strategy play here for a lot of these guys. You got to figure that they're going to probably gamble on the fact that there'll be another caution coming up.
97 laps at Martinsville Speedway. Wow, what a season it's been so far. just getting started.
And what a season it has been thus far, and we are just getting started.
Chris Buescher. And we will restart with
Hell yeah.
cars on the lead.
Hell yeah.
A number of those cars that had pitted under green took the wave around but are still a lap down. And that is from Cindric on back. Cindric, Stenhouse, Nemechek, Ware, Keselowski, Gregson, and Haley. All still one lap down.
So a handful of drivers still one lap down even after the wave around here on this caution. So they'll have to hope for another caution here in order for them to get back on the lead lap.
Well, this can go a couple ways right here. We can go all the way to the end under green, or it can turn into just a super rough multi-caution race. So you never know how this is going to turn out.
All right, Denny Hamlin, like most leaders.
All right, Denny Hamlin takes the inside, and his teammate Christopher Bell will also take the inside.
Didn't surprise me to see him try that again.
Bubba Wallace up to the outside of the front row from Ross Chastain.
Really interesting selection here on where a lot of these drivers will take the choose. And congratulations to Kyle Busch making it all the way into row 8. His teammate Austin Dillon right in front of him in row 7.
Comes into the restart zone. Last time he fired as soon as that nose crossed the first line. So does he mix that up or keep it consistent?
Maybe that's what Wallace is counting on, a gap between Hamlin and Bell for him to drop in second place. We're about to find out.
Don't sleep on Ross Chastain. It's been a minute since we've seen him this competitive. He's hungry. He's already showing aggression.
We'll restart with 94 to go.
And we are restarting here at Martinsville Speedway with Bubba Wallace on the outside of the number 11 of Denny Hamlin. Hamlin with another nice restart there in that number 11 Toyota Camry. Bubba Wallace now drops to the inside. He's going to try to work that inside lane and get up towards the leader, Denny Hamlin, who's now starting to pull away already on this restart with 93 laps to go here at Martinsville Speedway. And guys, we're having a big battle up near the front as we see Christopher Bell tries to get up towards Bubba Wallace, but on the inside of the number 1 Chevrolet is the Chevrolet of Chase Elliott. That number 9 Napa Chevy looks fast, and oh, a big bump there from Joey Logano to the back bumper of Ross Chastain, and somehow Chastain's able to hold on to that car. I thought for sure he was going into the wall. That was a huge hit, and oh, we got a flat tire and a caution is out.
This is going to get rough.
Yeah.
And now the cautions are starting to stack up here. And oh man, Chris Buescher with the flat tire. Looks like multiple cars have flats. Even Noah Gragson and that number 4 A&W Ford Mustang. He's got a flat tire he's got to come in and change.
I think Ricky Stenhouse will get back on the lead lap.
And Chris Buescher will get a new set of tires as well as he gets back on the lead lap, or tries to.
Larson here just stacked everything up. He was been out of shape a couple, 2 or 3 different
So we see here on the replay, it looks like Larson got really loose, and that just stacks up the whole line there behind him. And because of that stack up there, we would see, oh man, Chris Buescher climbs over and literally flattens the tire of the number 4 as we see on the replay here. The number 17 gets in too hot and, oh man, runs over that back left tire of the number 4. And man, Noah Gragson can't be happy about that. Luckily, neither one of them looked like they'll be out of the race, but that was a rough hit.
Holy cow, these guys are getting after it. Respect? I don't know. I never really, I respected him. I guess I just didn't like him. I liked him Monday. Didn't like him Sunday.
Well, Buescher is on the lead lap. Stenhouse will get the free pass.
So now with that caution flag, now we have 89 laps to go here in this race at Martinsville Speedway.
Cars like Gregson, and we saw the 17 Buescher a moment ago. And compare that to Kyle Larson.
Oh!
Like it just rolled out of the car wash.
Well, or that's the difference. Denny Hamlin's is the one you want to look at.
Yeah, exactly.
And Chris Buescher and Noah Grayson get into it a little bit on the racetrack. And man, that's what NASCAR warned these guys about.
You can walk around these cars and know what they had for a car. If the back bumpers run over, they were in the way all day. Voicing displeasure with.
And there, Noah Grayson voicing his displeasure.
Tail end of the field here. Yeah. The bumper you want messed up is the front bumper at this place, not the rear.
Yeah, I don't.
That one's messed.
That was Noah showing his displeasure with Buescher running him over.
Another right front tire flat.
Not very often that you see Chris Buescher.
And we see Chris Buescher not normally gets involved in that sort of incident. But man, Noah Grayson did not take too kindly to that as he comes after Chris Buescher to let him know his displeasure there on the racetrack.
400 at the famed Darlington Raceway in South Carolina. Pre-race starts at 2 Eastern. Green flag at 3.
Yeesh.
It's going to be tough to pick the best throwback scheme next Sunday.
So fun to go back.
So next week,
See the throwbacks.
NASCAR Cup Series heads to Darlington Raceway. It's going to be throwback weekend in Darlington. That should be one hell of a race.
Love it down there. Love that racetrack. The uniqueness of it. Ball getting tore up.
It's a racetrack that you go to that hasn't changed. And
Wanna be a baller, shot collar, 20-inch blade on the Impala.
Than the track was designed for. It's narrow, it's very line sensitive, and it's easy to make mistakes. So the lady in black can reach out and grab you at any point.
So what do I hear you guys are going to get to drive next weekend?
Yeah, you might have to just wait and see. How about that? I'm not telling. It's going to be awesome, though.
Lawyer kept the cat in the bag. Now there's a first.
I just hope, yeah, it's rare. I hope it doesn't turn out like you and Jeff driving those rental cars.
Oh, gosh. That was the most fun I've ever had on a racetrack, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, HR, Human Resources spent a whole week on the phone after that.
We don't need to talk about that.
No. Insurance? Who needs insurance? Well, we're at 9. That's the most cautions ever in a 400-lap race here. And that's only been for a couple of weeks, a couple of years, because traditionally 2 500-lappers here at Martinsville. Tyler Reddick not having a fun day.
I'm so tired of these research. It does not matter what we do. It just blows. Stay on the top, stay outside for 15 laps, get to the bottom, get past. It's ridiculous. Gotta shake it off and focus on the next one. Yeah, I'm already there, bud.
Wash, rinse, and repeat.
Welcome to Martinsville.
Yes.
That's what runs through almost every driver's brain throughout this race because they've been run into too many times, can't go fast, whatever the situation is.
Reddick will restart from third.
All right, we're getting ready for the restart here.
Again, the 2 Toyotas
And here we go, back racing here, folks, in the NASCAR Cup Series. As Denny Hamlin now pulls away with the lead, but Bubba Wallace stays a little bit closer to the back bumper, the 11. As we see Denny Hamlin continues to hold on in the number 1 position. Christopher Bell right behind him on his back bumper. Bubba Wallace in second place on the outside of the number 20. We see Ross Chastain inside the top 5 as he's side by side with Chase Elliott in that third row there behind the leader. And now Chase Elliott has worked his way ahead of Ross Chastain. And now he'll hold on to that 4th place position as Christopher Bell. Oh, and we got Joey Logano spun out. And now the caution flag is back out here.
And Joey Logano has done a great job all year long, and it seems like every single time we get towards the end of these races, that 22 car has something that has kept him from getting a top 10 all year.
And once again, Joey Logano catching some very, very bad luck here. The kind of luck he's had all season long. As we see here, Joey Logano was riding inside the top 6. And we see Chase Briscoe got too fast into Ross Chastain and then checked up, but ended up getting into the back left corner panel of the number 22 of Joey Logano. And because of that aggressive racing and hopping on the curb, Chase Briscoe is the one who takes out Joey Logano.
Doesn't matter, still spun him out.
And we see here on the replay, yep, Briscoe got too low, too aggressive into the corner, and ends up taking out Joey Logano. Well, Briscoe better watch out, because now he's going to be in for it, looking to see what happens next.
He got up on the curb so hard that the tire actually came off the ground because the splitter was up on top of the curb.
Wrong place at the wrong time, Joey Logano.
Nice job by Michael McDowell of missing all that. He had to be hard on the brakes as Briscoe was stopped. And
So now Joey Logano's got to be pissed after that.
finished through 6 races.
And the worst average finish for a defending champion in the NASCAR Cup Series. Right now, Joey Logano has the 3rd worst average finish for a defending champion through 6 races with an 18.8 finish thus far this season. And that's crazy too, considering the fact that Joey Logano has led a lot of laps throughout the first part of this season here in the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series. So, hey, tough break there for Joey Logano.
Of those 5, Josh Berry has 2 of them.
Definitely not the storylines that you would expect for those stats out of the Fords, but I don't think it, for the most part, it hasn't been because of performance, right? I think a lot of this has become...
And the Fords have really struggled throughout the early part of this season, only having 1 win early on the year, and that was Josh Berry a couple weeks ago. As we see, Joey Logano, defending Cup champion without a top 5 through 6 races. We see he's got 0, and his best finish this year has been 12th, which is the worst start for a defending champion thus far in the new next-gen era. And vice chairman and co-owner of Hendrick Motorsports, Jeff Gordon, looks on, wondering what's happening with his drivers.
Joey Logano, after that spin, will get 4 tires.
So, Larry, with all these caution laps, what does this do to us? The more caution laps we run, the more I got to think that these guys aren't going to want to give up their track position.
Absolutely, because they only actually have 15 green flag laps on these tires right now, even though they all pitted.
So everyone pitted, but I don't imagine we're going to see a lot of drivers pitting here with 79 laps to go. Our average last caution is around 340 with 60 laps to go, so we're about there. We've had 2 overtime finishes in the last 3 spring races here at Martinsville Speedway in the Gen 7 car.
Watching Cash run into your arms there as you were going to wind that clock at Victory Lane. That's a moment nobody who was here will ever forget.
Yeah, it's certainly me. It caught me off guard, to be honest with you. The only thing that's ever choked me up in racing is I looked over and saw that little turd running down the straightaway, and I was like, oh, no, this is going to get me, and it did. But special moments at a special racetrack for me. This was always one that I wanted to win. I got closer, just kept, perfecting my craft here. It was a challenging go at this racetrack.
And yeah, Clint Boyer, also a winner here at Martinsville Speedway, and Kevin Harvick next to him, a 3-time winner here at Martinsville Speedway.
Right? Passing, blew his doors off. I'm like, he ain't nothing. About 25, 30 laps later, he passed me, and not only did he pass me once, about 100 laps later, he lapped me. I learned right then and there the patience and the tire management of this racetrack, Kevin.
Well, I think as we go through today, I mean, you're going to see a lot of those cars that are running up front right now probably not finish there. I didn't have a lot of great days here. I had some good days here. Was able to find victory lane one time. And I didn't have Cash running down the front straightaway. I had Dale Jr. fans waiting at my front gate wanting to tell me how terrible I was for passing Dale at the end of that race. So, it's a great racetrack, great facility. Just take
A very good racetrack here at Martinsville Speedway. It's definitely one of those racetracks, though, that you have to be very patient at. The tires tend to wear in. So, and we see the 2018 Martinsville Spring Race. That's when Clint Boyer was able to get the victory here at Martinsville Speedway. A big win for Clint Boyer.
Those cars, seeing how low the noses are to the ground. Just a fast car that day. You know what it takes to get here. We were teammates, and I heard you say this earlier yesterday, as a matter of fact. Stuart Haas, we had good cars there. And Cuss Skinner had a good car that they brought, and I think that all cascades.
All right, car drivers now are choosing which lane they want to go into here.
A little different restart with Christopher Bell on the outside of the front row. Speaking of trends, sorry, Larry, didn't mean to leave you out of that conversation.
No, Mike, the 6 races with the Gen 7 car here, the average of the last caution is actually 60 laps to go, but we've had...
All right, the lights are off on the pace cars. We're fixing to go back racing here at Martinsville Speedway.
All right, now Joey Logano, who got spun, will restart 25th.
So Joey Logano will restart 25th after being spun out. That brought out that caution.
Austin row 2 with the Chevy of Larson. Chevy Toyota third row, Elliott and Briscoe, and the first Ford is going to be Ryan Priest with Todd Gilliland.
And here we go, back racing, as we see Danny Hamlin pulls away with the lead, and Christopher Bell is right beside him as we head towards the exit of turn number 2. Down the backstretch, we see Christopher Bell stays on the outside. Danny Hamlin stays on the inside. Christopher Bell, though, has a nice run on the outside. There's some slight contact there between him and the 11. Danny Hamlin racing very, very hard on the inside part of the lane. Oh, some more contact there to Christopher Bell, just slightly, as the two teammates are battling it out for the lead. Christopher Bell really using that outside lane well on Danny Hamlin. They continue to have slight contact in the corner as Danny Hamlin tries to hold on to that inside lane. Christopher Bell seems to have more grip on the outside, and this time it's Bell with the contact to number 11. We've seen a lot of bumping going on here up front, which means Bubba Wallace and now Kyle Larson, who's made his way inside the top 4, are looking to battle and get up towards the front and battle for this lead. And now we see the number 60 of Ryan Priest on the inside of Chase Briscoe as the number 64 Mustang tries to take away that top 7 spot away from the number 19 Toyota of Chase Briscoe. Briscoe having to work on the outside, and Ryan Priest makes the pass there on the inside of the number 19. And Toyota racing very, very well here at Martinsville. And Joey Logano now way, way in the back of the pack as he tries to make his way back up towards the front after being spun out by Chase Briscoe. Ryan Blaney now trying to work his way inside the top 10. He's had a pretty successful day thus far after starting outside the top 30 at the beginning of this race. Right behind him is Kyle Busch, my sleeper pick to win this race here at Martinsville. And man, how about Ty Gibbs? All the way back inside the top 12. And Ty Gibbs got a chance to let Tyler Reddick know there that he was not happy with the driver of the number 45 for spinning him out earlier in the race. And now Joey Logano continues to battle towards the front in the back of the pack there after being spun out on that last caution. A lot of competitive racing in the back of the pack here, but Danny Hamlin continues to lead all drivers as he just continues to pull away in that number 11 Toyota Camry. As we are at 67 laps to go here at Martinsville Speedway. And the 5-time Martinsville winner leading this race, but the last time he was in victory lane in Martinsville for Denny Hamlin was all the way back in 2015. So about 10 years since his last win at this racetrack. You know Hamlin wants to do better than that. He currently has 4 wins on short tracks in this next-gen car, which is 1 win more than Ryan Blaney or Kyle Larson have at short tracks in this next-gen car. Denny Hamlin has led 208 laps of 334 that we have ran thus far, and we are at 65 laps to go here in this race. So now Denny Hamlin has led more than half the laps in this race as Christopher Bell, his teammate, battles right behind him to try to contend for the lead. Right behind him is Bubba Wallace, who's been up inside the top 5 nearly all race long. A very, very good run from Bubba Wallace and that 23 Toyota racing team for 23-11. And we see the most laps led here, Denny Hamlin with 210 laps led. The next closest is Chase Elliott with 42, and Josh Berry with 40 laps led. And poor Josh Berry, after getting involved in an accident and some issues on pit road, Josh Berry is all the way near the back of the pack after leading the third most laps here of this race. Right now, currently in fourth place, 4 laps down. A tough break for Josh Berry. And now we see Kyle Busch on the inside of Tyler Reddick, the driver of the number 45 Toyota. As we see Kyle Busch is trying to get that number 8 Chevy back up towards the front and try to get a top 10 finish here with about 60 laps to go here at Martinsville Speedway. Oh, and we see Kyle Busch got a little loose there on the inside, almost running into Tyler Reddick there, but he's able to hold on to it. As we see Denny Hamlin continues to hold on to the lead here, Christopher Bell is trying to find a line that will get him closer to Hamlin so he can make a move for the lead. But we know that Denny Hamlin's been a lot better than any other car on the long run, and even though we just had a restart not that long ago, Christopher Bell tends to fall off after restarts. And right now, that's exactly what we're seeing. Christopher Bell trying to have to work a new lane and try to work the outside there in order for him to get the lead away from Denny Hamlin.
I love what your comment there was, but reminiscent of that last run, the 9 car drove to him, and eventually Denny Hamlin wore him out. Be careful if you're Christopher Bell to fall right back into that trap. You can drive to them, but that Denny Hamlin's car and his ability and experience to save.
And the guys are talking about it here in the commentating booth, saying that Christopher Bell really has to watch the way he drives up on Denny Hamlin to try to get up towards that lead, because he could overuse his car and his tires trying to make it towards the leader. Right now, it looks like Christopher Bell is starting to improve that line, and he's running very, very similar laps to Denny Hamlin right now. And here we go, guys, with 56 laps to go here at Martinsville Speedway. Right now, Denny Hamlin with the lead. He's led the most laps here at Martinsville in this race. Christopher Bell right behind him in the number 20 Toyota in second place. Bubba Wallace in third in the number 23 Toyota. Chase Elliott in fourth in the number 9 Chevrolet. And Kyle Larson is in 5th place in his number 5 Chevrolet to round out the top 5. And how about Joey Logano all the way up back to the 19th place position after starting 25th here. So a big mover is Joey Logano trying to make his way back up towards the front. And right next to another car that has struggled quite a bit today, that's William Byron, driver of the number 24 Chevrolet. He has not been able to get everything he's needed out of that car in order for him to be a contender here, as he's passed by Joey Logano, and Logano will take that 18th place spot away from William Byron as we have 53 laps to go. Joey Logano continues to try to work his way towards the front of this racetrack. Chase Elliott right now working on Bubba Wallace. Bubba Wallace holding on to that 3rd place position, but Chase Elliott is right there. Very, very close. And he's going to look to take away that 3rd place spot away from Bubba Wallace. Bubba hugs the bottom of the lane as we see Elliott really work that bottom part of the turn. And you got to give kudos to Ryan Blaney, who started this race in 32nd and now has made his way all the way inside the top 10, currently in the 10th place position. A nice run here for Ryan Blaney in this race, and now with 50 laps to go, we are seeing Denny Hamlin is going to be approaching traffic here soon, and that could be exactly what Christopher Bell needs in order for him to find an opening and be able to take the lead away from his teammate.
Well, Denny Hamlin in the start to this year, you know, he's had some adjusting to do with his new crew chief, Chris Gale, on top of the box. Chris, of course, was with Ty Gibbs the last few years, but they got paired up, and yes, they ran a couple Xfinity races together back in the day.
So Hamlin continues to hold on to the lead. A lot of these drivers now are spaced out and clearing out from one another, as we see Hamlin continues to pull away from Christopher Bell.
Well aware that my driver has not won here in 10 years, and we're going to try to change that. They've really focused on the long-run speed of this car, Mike, but he has had about 0 complaints, very little of anything wrong with this car today.
That's right, not much to complain about. There's a lot of... He's had a great drive. I'm sure.
So Denny Hamlin continues to battle here towards the end of this race.
For Denny Hamlin to have a new crew chief with Gayhart moving into a management role at Joe Gibbs Racing this season.
Yeah, and I don't know that that was Denny's call, right? So I'm sure a little bit of nerve-wracking situation there, not knowing exactly what you're going to have, but turns out.
And now looks like Joey Logano continues to move up towards the ranks here, as he's now battling for the 16th place spot. He's now made his way up 9 different positions since the restart. So Logano really trying to get a top 10 finish here as he continues to battle and race hard.
Joey's got to get the pass done. Joey's got a little bit fresher tires than Kyle. I forgot about that part.
And Joey Logano has a little bit better, fresher tires than Kyle Busch, as he's able to make that pass pretty easily. And now, going through lap traffic, this could be the opening that Christopher Bell needs in order for him to contend for the lead.
We see a couple of lap cars to work through right now. Can he do the same thing to Christopher Bell as we're going through traffic?
And I think that answer is yes. And I would say that answer, or me saying that, my comment is off.
And now we see Christopher Bell getting closer and closer to Denny Hamlin.
You know, I'm watching Bell push pretty hard behind him, slip some tires, getting into the corner, up off the corner, trying to run him down and hold pace with him.
But Hamlin really working the corners very, very well. He's got a lot of grip in those tires, and he's able to hold on to this lead very impressively, especially through some lap traffic here. Now, Christopher Bell has gotten close to the number 11, but the number 11 continues to pull away on the exit of the corners. And Chase Elliott tries to get up towards the top 3 as him and his teammate Kyle Larson round out the top 5. Very, very strong cars for both Hendrick Motorsports drivers. But we've seen 6 different leaders, 9 different lead changes, and 26 cars currently on the lead lap with 10 different cautions today. Joey Logano was the winner of stage 1, and Denny Hamlin was the winner of stage number 2, as Hamlin looks to finish off this race here with 39 laps to go here at Martinsville Speedway.
Cars, and what was a 1 or 2 car on lead is now 4 or 5.
Timing is everything, though, as your leader.
And as these cars continue to separate, it's going to be really interesting to see if we're going to continue to go green all the way to the very end.
Larry, what's your caught your eye about Denny Hamlin's drive here?
Yeah, I've been watching this for about the last 6 to 8 laps, and Denny just picks the throttle up later than Christopher Bell and Bubba Wallace. He lets the car roll. He can be more distinct with the throttle because he's waiting on it a little bit.
So hard. Well, that's what I was talking about, is just being easy on those tires. As you let it roll around that corner.
So now Denny Hamlin really trying to roll into the corner a whole lot better as he continues to increase his lead lap after lap, really getting that car to turn the way he wants to, and it looks like nobody's going to be able to catch up to him. As we're at 36 laps to go here in this race at Martinsville Speedway, Denny Hamlin continues to dominate.
The car is wanting to drive off the right rear tire and rotate. Letting that car roll past the center and get to that throttle, let the car get pointed, and driving that car off consistently straighter and straighter just allows you to save those tires.
So when you do that, you have to change something, and your roll speed is what you change. Your roll speed in and through the center over to about that 5/8 mark of the corner is where you have to roll faster around the corner, because you're not picking the gas up as soon as you were, so something has to give. Pick up your speed and find it in the first half, give up a little bit on the exit where you're not so hard on the tires trying to spin.
So we're 35 laps to go. You got what you've got. What does Christopher Bell have that he can use to apply to Denny Hamlin? I mean, what can he do differently?
And we see Denny Hamlin on the inside of the 88 of Shane Van Gisbergen
I want to ride here. I'm watching the lap times. You're not going anywhere. When you get
as he's lapping the 88. Now we're seeing Denny Hamlin really showing off how fast he really is at this racetrack, continuing to lap drivers here. And Joe Gibbs Racing is doing very, very well today with Bell and Hamlin in the top 2 spots. Chase Briscoe is currently in 8th, and Ty Gibbs is currently in 12th, which would be his best finish. Oh, and Hamlin gets loose! Actually, that's Shane Van Gisbergen who got loose, and the number 20 of Christopher Bell gets on the inside of the 88, and he'll take away and put the number 88 down another lap.
I know what these crew chiefs are doing down there, Mike. They are thinking about what if that caution comes out. Remember, with a tire that didn't have as much give up as this tire has 1 year ago, 90 laps on their tires, the caution came out to put us into overtime. We only had 13 drivers on the lead lap. The top 9 stayed out, and we did have some get 4 tires, but this is a tire that has a much...
All right, so now with 29 laps to go here in this race, it's going to be very interesting to see if any of these teams need to pit as we approach the end of this race.
Yeah, 26 cars on the lead lap.
Well, we've seen track position work itself out for some of these guys as you've gone through the day. But the kicker in that, we've run a lot more laps on this run than when some of those guys put 2 tires on and no tires. So you just never know. Some people are willing.
And Chase Elliott able to get on the inside of the 88 of Shane Van Gisbergen. And Elliott continues to hold on to that 4th place position. William Byron trying to battle his way up. He's in 21st right now as the Hendrick Motorsports teams. The Hendrick Motorsports team was doing very, very well, but now Alex Bowman's down by 1 lap. The number 48 struggling here today. But up front, we see Denny Hamlin continues to lead this race.
On the lead lap, so you definitely have something to race for. I think as you definitely don't want to be the guy that does something to the leader that causes him to have trouble, but you got to race as hard as you can to.
And Denny Hamlin working through lap traffic. Christopher Bell still right behind the leader. But this is definitely Denny Hamlin's race to lose, with 26 laps to go here at Martinsville. And Hamlin hoping to bring back home that 4th grandfather clock, that big famous trophy you get for winning and ending up in victory lane here at Martinsville Speedway. This is the oldest track on the circuit for the NASCAR Cup Series, and oh man, that's a tough break there for Austin Cindric, as it looks like he's headed towards the garage, and that's going to be a bad way to end the day for Austin Creed. Or Austin Cindric, I should say.
That's a first for me. I've been around this a long time and never we're parking it because we're out of batteries.
I mean, that looked like a proprietary lithium-ion battery. The connector, that may not be shared. It's not like you can just go down to the local Advance Auto Parts and get one.
So what you're saying is you can't put it on trickle charge and get it charged fast enough to keep up.
You can't go to Menards and buy another one.
By tomorrow, maybe. Tough break for Austin Cindric.
So a good run here for a lot of the Toyota drivers.
23 to go.
We're seeing a lot of mixture of different car manufacturers inside the top 10 right now, but Toyota seems to be the one dominating the top 20 here.
And that's another strength of Denny Hamlin.
And Hamlin holding on to a very, very good lead here with 22 laps to go. 10 cautions throughout this race. Denny Hamlin did win stage number 2, so he takes those bonus points into the NASCAR Cup Series standings. And now Hamlin trying to get himself into victory lane for the first time this season and put himself back into the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series playoffs. And how about Joey Logano as he works the inside of Tyler Reddick and takes away that 13th place spot away from the 45 Toyota. Joey Logano working his way back up inside the top 10 after that stumble and bad mistake and break that the number 22 suffered, being spun out on that last caution that we had.
In Denny Hamlin's position, you just know you're kicking their butt right now. You're working your way through traffic. You're in a rhythm. And the only thing that you can think about is...
And Hamlin on the inside of the number 7. As we see Justin Haley gladly moves out of the way for the leader. Hamlin continuing to show an impressive lead in this race.
Because you don't want your guys on the pit box to think that you're nervous about that happening, because as soon as you would ask, you know that caution is going to fly.
Well, it was harder at the old Martinsville back in the day before the Grand.
And now on the inside there, Denny Hamlin able to get past the number 17 of Chris Buescher and laps him and puts him another lap down. Hamlin continues to dominate this race early on and later as he's led the most laps here at Martinsville.
I knew where every scoreboard and lap counter was at every racetrack because you didn't want the team to think that you were worried about how many laps are left or what was going on.
The only track that still has a scoreboard like that is they put one up just like the old one at North Wilkesboro.
And Denny Hamlin is dominating this race here as we are approaching 15 laps to go here at Martinsville Speedway. Almost to the end of this race.
16 to go.
And Bubba Wallace trying to find something here to hopefully get past Christopher Bell. And he's hoping this lap traffic will give him an edge here.
That's the biggest thing they're telling him right now.
That number right now is 3.
And growing. Denny Hamlin stretched it out just exactly like he did last time.
And Denny Hamlin once again continues to stretch out his lead with this traffic helping him out, splitting him up between the second and third place drivers. As we see Bubba Wallace continues to be right near the back bumper of Christopher Bell, but cannot find enough speed to get past the number 20 Toyota. And right behind Bubba Wallace and his number 23 Toyota, we also see the number 9 Chevrolet of Chase Elliott, who's battling to get back up inside the top 3 after it looked like he could be a serious contender to win this race. It looks like Denny Hamlin's just going to dominate all the way to the very end. Now Christopher Bell under duress and under fire from Bubba Wallace, who's right on his bumper. Bubba Wallace could be looking for a way to get around the number 20 if he can. And now with the number 11 leading, there are 11 laps to go here in this race at Martinsville Speedway. And Hamlin now has built his lead almost to 3 seconds as he continues to just stretch and stretch this lead out. Second, third, and fourth place are literally right there neck and neck with each other, but Hamlin just continues to pull away.
When Christopher Bell is having trouble, it's bringing Bubba to his bumper, but it's also bringing the 2 guys behind Bubba Wallace closer to him as well.
Elliott and Larson closing in. Chastain 6. Priest trying to continue his string of top 10s, which would be the first time he's had 3 of them in a row. Then Briscoe, Gilliland, and Blaney in the top 10.
Yeah.
So we see Ryan Priest, driver of the number 60 Ford Mustang for RFK Racing, currently in 7th place. If he's able to finish there, that would be the first time in his Cup Series career that he's had 3 top 10 finishes in a row.
That's a great run. Ability
Now Bubba Wallace, with 8 laps to go, continues to try to get that second place spot away from Christopher Bell. Chase Elliott right behind Bubba Wallace as well in that 4th place position. And Elliott right on the back bumper of Bubba Wallace, trying to get that 3rd place spot away from the number 23 Toyota.
The race that we've had so far, so these guys they're struggling. They're struggling inside the car with the looseness and the tightness and everything in between that we've talked about.
I'm glad you said that, and it's by far the biggest lead we've seen all day long too. The only thing that's going to outrun that 11 is a caution.
And right now, if we can stay caution-free, Danny Hamlin looks like he has this race in the bag here. And we are 5 laps to go here in this race at Martinsville Speedway. And Danny Hamlin has now built almost a 4-second lead on Christopher Bell. A dominating performance here for Denny Hamlin at Martinsville Speedway. And even though Denny Hamlin has the most wins here of any driver at Martinsville Speedway, Denny Hamlin has not made it to victory lane here at this famous racetrack since 2015. So now, 10 years later, Denny Hamlin will look to put that 4th grandfather clock, the trophy that you get here for winning at Martinsville Speedway, in his trophy room. And the crew chiefs there are nervous. Their feet are tapping with 2 laps to go here at Martinsville Speedway. Denny Hamlin has now increased his lead to over 4.5 seconds over the 2nd place man, Christopher Bell. And Denny Hamlin has dominated this racetrack here at Martinsville Speedway, leading the most laps of any driver by quite a bit. The driver in 2nd place with the most laps had 42 led. That was Chase Elliott. And Denny Hamlin has led over 200 laps here at Martinsville Speedway. And on the last lap, coming down the backstretch, Denny Hamlin with the lead as he comes around the final turn. And Denny Hamlin will win at Martinsville Speedway. And that number 11 Toyota Camry for Joe Gibbs Racing heads back to victory lane, and a 4th grandfather clock will be waiting for Denny Hamlin to put in his trophy room as he gets his first win at Martinsville since 2015 and his 6th career win here at Martinsville Speedway. The famous short track racing here for the NASCAR Cup Series shows Denny Hamlin, the survivor and the winner at the very, very end. And congratulations,
Got it. Dominant fashion. It's Hamlin's 15th career short track win, and that is 2nd among active drivers.
Bubba Wallace, another great day for that 23 car. Continues to impress. Elliott, strong finish.
Toyota 1-2-3, Chevy 4-5-6. Ryan Preece is the first Ford in 7th, and finally, Joey Logano gets a top 10.
How about that?
Yeah.
First one of the year.
He made some great ground there at the end of the race as you see Denny Hamlin start to burn the back tires off of this.
and Denny Hamlin will burn the back tires there off of the number 11 Toyota.
About him, a new opportunity, another top 10.
Chase Briscoe held it there, 9th.
Needed, much needed.
4 Toyotas, 3 Chevys, 3 Fords.
Okay, so that's obviously not going to pop up here.
Saved it all for his burnout, but
That's the best place to burn it down. They already paid for you, so you might as well get your money's worth.
It's the 15th Martinsville win for Joe Gibbs Racing. 3rd on the all-time.
And here we go, guys. The unofficial results here at Martinsville Speedway. Christopher Bell finishes 2nd in the number 20 Toyota, Denny Hamlin's teammate. A beautiful win there. Bubba Wallace finishes 3rd in the number 23 Toyota. Chase Elliott finishes 4th in the number 9 Chevrolet. and Kyle Larson rounds out the top 5. After Carson made it to victory lane last week, he follows that up with a nice top 5 finish here at Martinsville. As Denny Hamlin continues to burn out the tires and smoke out the crowd there at Martinsville. We see in 6th place Ross Chastain finishes 6th in his number 1 Chevy. Ryan Preece finishes 7th in his number 60 Ford Mustang. That is 3 straight top 10 finishes for Ryan Preece. The first time in his career he's been able to do that. We also see Chase Briscoe finishes 8th in the number 19 Toyota. Todd Gilliland finishes 9th in his number 34 Ford Mustang. A nice finish for him. And Ryan Blaney rounds out the top 10 as Ryan Blaney finishes 10th in his number 12 Ford Mustang. So guys, that is your top 10 there. Some notable drivers that finished outside of the top 10. We got to give it up to Ty Gibbs, driver of the number 54 Toyota Camry, finishes 12th. That's his best finish of the year thus far. And Hamlin's got a fire underneath the hood.
A long time since you've seen that much rubber build up on the sides of these race cars. I like this soft tire. Hendrick Motorsports favored here. Ends up 4th and 5th with Elliott and Larson. Maybe put the fire out there. Chastain 6th.
I would definitely tell somebody that it's on fire.
And with the car on fire, Denny Hamlin is excited. And it's the number 11 against the world, says Denny Hamlin on his flag that he has, and the crowd is loving it. Also, Joey Logano made a nice finish here, finishing 14th in his number 22 Ford Mustang after having that mishap there at the very end.
Martinsville, how were you able to come back like that and dominate, leading more than half the race here?
So good finish here for Denny Hamlin. His 6th career win at Martinsville. The 2025 Martinsville Cup Series winner here early on in the season.
Last few years, and it was just amazing. The car was great.
His daughter's joining it.
It did everything I needed it to do. Just so happy to win with Chris and get 55. It's awesome.
And Denny Hamlin celebrating with his family. Awesome win for the number 11 Toyota Camry for Joe Gibbs Racing. Denny Hamlin's first win of the year, and now he puts that number 11 team back in the playoffs. With this win, he now clinches a spot in the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series playoffs. This is his 55th career Cup Series win. That now ties him for the 11th most wins all time with Rusty Wallace here in the Cup Series. Congratulations to Denny Hamlin, and congratulations to the Toyota racing team of Joe Gibbs Racing. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out here on Tim Reynolds Show. Peace out, everybody, and have a great race day and a great Sunday. We'll talk